Hey, Sarah, you're here before I am. I'm going to clip on some of these, my little ring lights. And why did that stuff popping up? Let me plug in my laptop. I'm going to do the intro as usual, give you time to notify people. And I think I'm going to do a base face. Well, sort of, just foundation and powder. Did I say Sarah? I'm sorry, Sandy. Sandy, how are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Locke. How you been doing, Sandy? My 32nd day one. All right, let's get some of these little lights on. Every time I go to let me slow down. Clip one of these on, I think of that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I think that song every time. Hey, Grace. Grace, I was just watching your icy nude video. Hey, Tanya. And I did post on my community tab probably last week. Y'all, time is a blur for me. And I posted a picture of the I Need a Nude with the icy nude. Because when I looked at it, for a brief moment in time, I did think to get icy nudes, even though it's not my color story, but I'm like, okay, I got warm, I got gold, and I got nude. So I'm like, but then when I kept looking at it, I'm like, that to me looks too much like I need a nude. Hey, Sarah. So my face is looking dark on this side. Maybe I should put this light on that side. Y'all, I wanna thank y'all for being here last night with me. I do feel better today, but I'm still but I'm determined. I'm determined because I know we're gonna make it through. I got up around 3 o'clock. Y'all supposed to be on the intro, right? I got up around 3 o'clock and I did go to Sephora to return that powder and that spray. And then I thought maybe I'll get something. I'm like, no, you know what? The economy is about to change. Don't get shit. Just return this and come home. And that don't look right over there either because now it's just more darker on this side. So maybe I need to put both of those over there. Thank y'all for being here, me trying to figure this out. I'll just do the intro while I'm messing with these lights. Hello and welcome if you are new here. Excuse me for shaking, y'all. My name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation. The crazy, just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You will hear as you're watching some beauty-related videos, you must use this brand, you must use that brand, you must use this tool, and I'm here to tell you that you don't. That does not look any better. Use whatever you want to use, however you want to use it, to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line here at the Crazy Troll Nation is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. 2 things I need to let you know if you are new here. I do curse because I do. And the second thing is there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do always say, excuse me, unless someone is doing my makeup, because then I just kind of just hold it in. So that is the intro. Thank y'all for being here. I realized yesterday, my eyebrows, y'all, I need to trim them. That's what it is. Because some of them are just going every which kind of way. And I don't remember having those issues before. I have one up here that goes this way, one that's curving down here. Is very annoying. I forgot to tell y'all yesterday when I was unpacking, I think I did mention it in the video, the one video I did do when I was down there. We're going to put on City Lips Midnight Sparkle, the clear with gold glitter. I have forgot to take my brow pencil, and I have forgot to take mascara. And I do mention this in the video, I forgot to take a mirror. And usually I just take, the one that sits here at my desk. And so I was telling one of my trolls, I said, I forgot to bring a mirror. And they didn't say anything for a while. And I'm like, because usually I do message back like right away. So I was like, and I think now they were taking time trying to figure out how to say it. When they did text back, they said, maybe one of your palettes has a mirror in it. So now you see why I said I think they were trying to take time to figure out how to say it, because almost all of my eyeshadow palettes have mirrors in it. I was so out of it, y'all. It didn't even dawn on me that if I did an eye look, just use the palette in the mirror. And I was just like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, that's how out of it I was. I know, Tanya, right? I was just like, damn, they do. Hey, Dawn. And I told you I took a bunch of palettes, two different brand. Well, one brand, I ranked the brand, and then I ranked an aesthetic. So I had a ton of palettes. And even the one I took to use, the Trio Chrome Quint palette, that has a huge mirror. So I was just like, I'm like, damn, like I was really I have just I don't even know what to say, because I was just like, damn, I got all these palettes here. I'm talking about I didn't bring a mirror. So that was and I didn't feel idiotic. I'm just like, okay, this is evident. There's more going on in my mind than I can deal with right now. I love when all y'all talk to each other. That to me is just like, girl, your palette's got a mirror, right? But anyway, so I appreciate the gentleness with which she said what she said. So we're gonna slap on Milk Hydro Grip Primer, Estee Lauder 4N2, which is described as medium tan, neutral, subtle golden undertones. We're gonna put on the Estee Lauder concealer, and this is their Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer, and the shade is 4N. And I like how they have the number and letter of their foundation that corresponds with the foundation, and the concealer is not far off than the shade of the foundation. And that's been my struggle, is trying to find, because even with Fenty, if I get the same shade concealer as the foundation, it's like 6 shades lighter than the foundation. And I'm like, I don't want that under my eyes. And then they have, because it says use 335, which is a Fenty shade number I wear. For concealer, they say get 335, and to brighten, get 315. But if the 335 is like 5 shades lighter, than the foundation, why would I want something lighter than that? So I appreciate that Estee Lauder does this, and I do think it's because Estee Lauder is old school, and I appreciate that. I brung over here Eternal Light, and I brung Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder shade Truly Tawny. I brung the square palette. I didn't wash the brushes I used last night, y'all, nor did I wash the heart palette that I used. You order some airless pumps for your char foundations. They're really inexpensive on Amazon, and most of them come in a set of either like 3 or like 6. These are, I think, 1.5 ounces. And some of the sets, it's like one of these, and then a 1 ounce, and then a 0.5 ounce. But for the Estee Lauder foundation, because I'm like, where is it? Where I put it? Because this foundation is so thick, I'm not able to completely clean it. So for each time I use this foundation or open a new one, I have to use a new jar. The Pat McGrath one, that cleaned out, but for the Estee Lauder, it was like, nope, we're going to be here. So today we're going to talk about my purchases that I made in September and in October. I did make a purchase today. And I posted on my community tab. Esom is having a holiday sale, and the code is in the picture that I posted on there. And the code is holiday 24, and you get 20% off. And that's the sale that she had put in the email when she sent the email about the $60 credit. She said, we have our sale starting on November 12th. It actually started today. And so I posted that on my community tab. So I have a text that another package has been delivered. Because I've been looking at my stack of stuff over here, and I'm trying to remember, like, is everything in? And so I don't even remember, like, everything I got. So I looked at the brushes I had that I liked from Esom, and I got some more of, where's my paper? I think it's the V27 that I use for foundation, because now they're angled. And y'all know I like angle brushes. And it looks to be the same size and width as the V27s I have, but just with an angle. And I got 2 of the You love getting delivery text. I know, I'm trying to think of like, what is it? Because I have 2 Sephora boxes sitting here and the Sephora bubble mailer. And today, where did this come from? My Sigma box came today. Is that from Sigma? Yeah. And so I'm like, what else did I buy? Because I didn't even open anything, which I should have to check it, but you know. This is my last clean Real Techniques 200, I'm sorry. Real Techniques 20 brush. What was I saying? Oh, and so I got 2 of, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm like, okay, it's a sale, and I have $60 credit. So I got 2 more of the V09s. The one I use actually was today because the sale started today. The one I use for my brows, I got 2 of those because I have 2, and I will use all 4 of them because sometimes if I want to do more than one color in my brows, I'm like, oh shoot, I only got 2 of these brushes, and so I got that. But the angled, I think they're the V27s. Yo, I got 4 of them, and this is what's crazy. I already have 9 of the ones, the regular ones that's not angled. So I'm gonna have 13 of those brushes. But y'all know I be putting on anywhere from like 3 to 7 eyeshadows. And I do love the angled shadows. So this is the Estee Lauder. This side is really dark. And I don't know what to do about it. The only thing I can think of is to put a lamp like over here, like how that lamp is there. But even when I put the other ring light on this side, it didn't seem to change it much. So yeah, I'm gonna have 13 of those brushes. And then I'm thinking that's an odd number. I should have just got 3. So it would have been 12 instead of 13. And I had forgot about the credit. And so the total said one thing. And I put in the 20% off code. And then when I click pay out, it like dropped by almost half. And I'm just like, and then it says credit. And I'm like, oh shoot, I had forgot about that. Because I had taken out the mascara. It's a mascara bundle for $39. There's 2 of those mascaras, and you get a pack of disposable mascara wands, which I know I will use for my clients. And so I had took the mascara out because I'm like, this is expensive. But when I realized the credit, now it says 6. Mine says 5. Watch, and mine says 5. Excuse me. Stranger Money says 1 person is watching. I don't know what YouTube be doing, y'all. I really don't. And I know they're always trying to improve. Yeah, it still says 5 over here on my end. I don't know. And so when I saw that it was the credit and what I need to pay was so low, I'm like, oh, they did do the credit. That's why I had put the mascaras in my cart, because the mascaras I think are $30-something. And so to get 2 of them for $39, and you get the disposables, which I have enough disposables, but I will go through them, as I keep working on people's faces. And so I put the mascaras back in the cart and checked out. And 5 minutes after I made the purchase, I received an email saying it's been shipped. It hasn't been. They did the label. Because when I click for tracking, it's like label has been created. But I'm like, damn, they unpackaged this and shipped it that fast? So that should be here by the end of the week. And I don't know if I'll show it. Well, y'all show it just so you can see the difference in the shapes. So yeah, so we used all of that. It was 2 pumps of the primer and 2 pumps of the foundation. Temu ass. I can't stand I wonder how long that's still going to be a thing. I wonder how long Temu is going to be a thing, because all this stuff is going to change. You got kicked out, but just realized it said Sandy. Aw, Sandy, how you been doing? Because I've been thinking about you lately. This is how I do my concealer. And I do where the redness is, and I'll do around my mustache area. Lumi for me is the one. And they supposedly tell her ads to like whatever you watch. And that kind of freaks me out in a way. It's like Dollar Store Amazon. It kind of freaks me out in a way that when they do stuff like that, like we know for sure that they're listening. And I'm just like, I didn't give you consent to be listening. And I was somewhere and somebody had mentioned something, like something that was just random and didn't really have anything to do with anything. They were just sharing a story about something. And then different people in the group started getting text messages for what that product was. And I'm just like, that's why I refuse to use Siri. I refuse to use Alexa. Hey, cat. I refuse because I'm like, they're already listening anyway. And whatever you search for online, you're going to start getting more ads for that. And I can't stand it. It's like, where's my privacy? But then if you read the fine print, they tell you ain't gonna have no privacy. So that's that. So this is me with just the Estee Lauder on my face. And I'm content with that. I like how this way, this doesn't look that dark, but when I'm this way because of the shadow on that side. And this is my double bag. See that? Pow pow. So we're gonna put on this. I do need to stop shopping. I'm trying to decide if I want to go on a no buy because I'm already on a perpetual low buy. And the reason I'm saying that is because time is going to change. And also, I do under my eyes and under my nose first because that's where I put concealer. And we know every year, cost of living, so stuff goes up. Thankfully, usually my VA cost of living increase usually almost matches what the cost of living is, or I should say my rent, because a couple of years ago, I think it might have been last year. Was it? I don't know. But my VA disability increase for cost of living was $15 less than my rent increase. And I'm like, okay, well, so I was only coming out of my pocket another $15. And so I'm like, okay, I'll take it. But I do wish they would give us more, but I'm just happy if it just what's the word I'm trying to say? I like it when it's evened out. Like my VA cost of living matches whatever other bill goes up. And so that I'm not really coming out of pocket with additional money. Dawn says she didn't even talk about a product or look up product or talk about it, but was near it at the store and thought about buying it. Then I got it at coincidence question mark. I was somewhere, this was years ago. I think it might have been when I went to Atlanta, Georgia. And they had a Sephora in their airport. And so I just went in the store and I'm just walking around. I didn't buy anything and I left. And then I get an email. Did you see something you liked? And it was a Sephora thing. And I'm like, who's stalking me? I was really kind of freaked out. Like, and I knew it wasn't a person, but I was like, damn, like I can't even just walk into a store and just walk out without getting emails about, did you see something you like? That to me is kind of freaky. It really is. I don't like it, but it's been that way. Kate says, but I never think of pros. But I get endless ads for them. I try blocking them, but it doesn't work. No one says weird. Is our phones grabbing barcodes? But the barcodes are usually on the bottom or the side of a product. So how would it even see the code? Like, I'm just like, what is that, Cat? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Where are you at, Cat? Like, what country or like where are you? And what is that you're making? Like, I don't even think I've ever seen it before. Or QR codes is on, I don't know. Not my phone, it's too old to be smart. Oh my gosh. Bush, I don't know how to pronounce it, Tanya. I don't know. So we're going to put this Eternal Light on. Excuse me for that. Just to put some color. But you know what? I really like this, though. The Estee Lauder, because you can still see me. So you see that freckle thing there. And when you're in my face, like I can see my freckles, scattered throughout my face. But I like how it does even out. So we're going to put this on just to put just a little bit of color on the perimeter of my face. And that's all we're going to do with this. And then we'll get into what I spent. We're going to just put some on the cheek too. Not quite maybe like as a blush type thing. And a little bit on my nose, which I shouldn't have did because now it's shiny. I do not like it's shiny. Oh, that's okay. Are you here in the United States, Kat? Because who is it? The sparkling witch, Maddie. I forget where she is. I don't want to say Germany. But wherever she is, like she's 6 hours ahead. So like how here is 8:20, 9:20, 10:20, 11:20, 12:20, 1:20, 2:20. So like now it's 8:21 here on the East Coast. It's like 20 minutes after 2 in the morning where she is. And I just find that like fascinating, like how social media can bring us together. You're in Western Canada. Okay. It's very Slavic around there. Oh, okay. Y'all cost of living is high compared to here because I was trying to think of where would I go, and I'm like, Canada costs too much for me. But I appreciate you being here. It just always it always fascinates me like how social media brings us together at the same time, even though it's different times where we are. You know what I mean? And so we're going to get into what we purchased the last 2 months. You've seen everything. Because I do show you stuff when I get it and I do a haul video. And so, but I'm excited for tomorrow. So when I show you all that stuff, then I can dig into it and I'll be doing looks with the stuff that's in there. I don't know what this other thing from Sephora is. You know, I do know because 2 days I purchased, no, one day I made 2 purchases. And I was thinking like, well, they just put them in the same box. But sometimes Ulta will do that. So my beauty budget update. The numbers aren't bad. I could probably get it on my phone. Yeah, so I can't even see me now because I blocked it off. So what I'm doing now is writing down how much we spent for each month since I started keeping touch. So we can just kind of compare my spending habits. I spent a lot in June. Damn. But I don't really think I did too bad. And I know I don't really shop a lot. It's just that some of the stuff I buy, especially skincare, is expensive. And so I am glad that most of my skincare I can get from Ulta. And they always have coupons. And so I just need to wait for the coupon that includes Prestige. And then I think right now, the number of points I have for Ulta equates to like $70. And so I'm going to just let that sit because I don't need anything. Oh, so as far as I am going to continue my perpetual low buy, which is not getting anything that's not on sale or with the coupon code or something like that. But I'm really wondering, like, should I just do a complete no buy? But then I do really believe I will purchase something. You know what I mean? And I don't want to beat myself up by saying, I'm not going to purchase anything for a year. And then I do, and I feel like crap. And so that's why the perpetual low buy works for me. But I am going to be I'm going to try to be more intentional with my purchases because the economy is going to change. And so it's like, do I want to keep spending hundreds of dollars on makeup? Hey, Tony, do I want to continue spending money on makeup or do I want to like save that? And I'm embarrassed to say I don't have a lot in savings. So, so that's the thing too. So Cass says she just makes up recipes as you go. That is awesome. I am in awe of people who can do that because I need a recipe. Like I can't, unless it's something basic. But that sounds like kind of intense. Sounds fancy too also. Locke says I made a Ukrainian Russian recipe that Natalie here on YouTube and IG gave me. Did you like it? So did you like it, Locke? My neighbor's always trying recipes. She was diagnosed with diabetes, and she refuses to be on medication. And so for her, it's carbs that get to her. And I knew a woman and her mother years ago. Both of them were diabetic. The mom couldn't eat fruit without it spiking her sugar, but she can eat carbs. Her daughter, she could eat carbs, but she couldn't eat fruit. Like it was reversed, like what each one of them would increase their numbers. Kat, I was just thinking yesterday that I need to make it again because it's perfect for a cool fall season. It says lot. Cozy food. And I took chili out the freezer to thaw for me to have for dinner tonight. That would be authentic, says Kat. Yeah, watch your aunt make it. Oh, that sounds really good. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. And so I find it interesting that, like, for different people, either fruit may spike their sugar or carbs will spike their sugar. And so for my neighbor, I think it's carbs because she said she only allows herself to eat carbs on the weekends. And so for her, I think it's carbs. Does she eat fruit? I gave her apples one day and she did take it and she says, I'm going to decline, and she gave it back. So maybe it's both. I don't know. It was cheap. This cat. And so I don't know. But she does recipes and she'll text me, hey, are you up? I made such and such. Do you want me to bring you some? I'm like, sure. Yo, I was so excited because I made sauce a couple days ago. Locke says, I will make it, Dion, when you visit us to go persuade Dawn to start a channel. Don't tell me that. I'll be on a plane like in the spring. I had made sauce and I get the ragu from BJ's, and I just can't stand the name of that store, but it comes in like it comes in a 3-pack and it's like 28 ounces or whatever. It's like a huge amount of sauce. And so I'll make the sauce. So you can't make a little bit of sauce unless you make your own by hand. And so I made sauce and it was delicious. It was delicious. And I have Talenti's, the ice cream containers. And so I'll eat that night and then I'll leave out enough for the next day, and all the rest I put into the Talenti's container. And usually I have like 6, and I put it as a serving size. And so I have like 6 containers of sauce in the freezer. And so one day I told her, I said, well, I made sauce. If you would like some, I'll give you one and see if you like it. And I said, but I don't think you're going to like it because I dumped so much Penzeys seasonings in my food. But I loved it. And I said, I don't think you're going to like it, but if you're willing to try it, you know. So she was like, yeah, I'll try it. And she said, I'll let you know how it tastes. And what annoys me, though, is when I make sauce, or even if I make chili, and I really love it, I know I'm not going to be able to do that again because I don't measure anything. I just dump stuff in when I'm seasoning the meat, and I'll taste it, put some more stuff in, taste it. And then once I put the sauce in and mix it, I'll put some more seasonings in, wait a little while, taste it, put some more. So I never measure. And so this was so good. And I'm like, I'm a little annoyed because it's not ever going to taste that way again. And what I'm excited about, she texted me the other day. She said, I ate that sauce. I made some pasta. And she said, I loved it. I'm like, did you really? Because I really didn't think she was because there's so many flavors. I said, this is not going to taste like any pasta sauce you've ever had. And she's like, I love it. She's like, I love it. And so I had told her, I said, well, I have 3 more in my freezer. One is yours if you want it. She said, okay, I'll take it. And I'm like, damn. So sometimes she'll be like, no, I'll pass. So I'm like, she really, really liked it. And I was excited. But it'll never taste the same again because, you know. So to the beauty budget. It's the soup that's tangy, so you eat it with sour cream, says Cat. I like tangy, though. So for September, we got both of those Easton palettes. We got the bundle. And y'all saw me, if you've been here, and if you watched it, you saw me do a look at both of those palettes and use the mascara, which I really like. So that was $139. The thing with eSum is that they don't have codes and stuff like that. I do have some links in my description box, and they're affiliate links, but there's not a code for you to get money off. So if you do use that or any of my other links, I do appreciate it. I bought those, and also those 4 large eSum storage cases. They were $20 a piece. They were bundled together for $56, so that was saving money. And so that order was $195. And then we purchased from Sigma. They had their, it was a 40% off sale. And they had the Sigma Spa Express brush cleaning mat, the large black one. They have them in pink, but to me, I'm like, I want pink. And it's huge. And I have the little pink one, and that's the one I started traveling with once I got the big one. And I remember saying before when I wash brushes, it would take me like 10 minutes or so. Now it takes me like 5 minutes because of the big mat. I love it, y'all. I love it. And so that was $15. Is regularly priced at $30, and I never got it before because I'm like, that's a lot of money for a cleaning mat for your brushes. So that was $18 because the VIP 40 code was 40% off. $1.95 for root protection, $7.50 for shipping. I hate paying for shipping. So I paid $27.45 for a $30 mat. But it's still cheaper than what it would have been if it wasn't on sale. I've decided that after Black Friday, I'm laying off buying makeup. I've got to use what I have. I hear you, Tony. And that's where my head is at with thinking, do I just need to do, well, not need to, but do I just want to do a no buy? But I think if I break down and buy something, I would be too hard on myself. And I don't want to be hard on myself. But I will be more conscious, more than I am already when I purchase stuff. But yeah, I'm just like, because that money can go somewhere else. And Rakuten was having 10% cash back as from Sigma that day. Dawn, you keep saying you're a makeup goblin. I need proof. I need to see you do a video and show your stuff. How about that? And then I made an order from Fenty. They had a 30% off code. Fenty, y'all, really does have some good sales. So I got 2 more brow pencils and I got 2 more of the eye primers. I tell you, I am never without their brow pencils or eye primers because I get extras when they're on sale. And so that total, and it was free shipping. So that total came to $65.80. And Rakuten was doing 2% cash back. So for September, so I only made 3 purchases in September, but my total was $285.25. Yeah. You go through a lot of brow pencils. How long, Dawn, does it take you to get through a brow pencil? For me, it takes me like 4-ish months to get through my Fenty brow pencil. Fabulous 50 says she went through hers in a week. And I'm like, well, because you use more product than I do. So I'm just like, a week? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it takes me like at least 4 months. But then she does do her brows dark. I'm excited for her coming this Saturday. I don't know. Yeah, I already know what kind of look I'm going for. And it's based on a subscriber request because they said they have similar eye shape as her. So I think that would be helpful versus just doing, something else. Use e.l.f. so maybe they're smaller. Okay. I was shocked when she went through that Fenty brow pencil. She said in a week. Like, what? She said she really liked it, but she said it used up too quick. And I'm just like, well, for October, I did break a lot of e.l.f. stuff is smart. Yeah, it is. Cat. And the one she has one from Laura Geller. And you think it might last longer. So for October, I did break my perpetual low buy. I got the Roxa palette early access, full price, $69 free shipping. And y'all may or may not have seen it on Bestie's channel, on Grace's channel, because after I used it, I sent it to her. I'm like, you got, because she is a purple palette connoisseur, she says. And I know, because she loves purple as much as she does, I know it'll be used and she'll do comparisons and battles and all of that stuff. And so it'll get more exposure on her channel than here. And so I really felt good about sending it to her. Tony says she's still hanging on to the MAC eyebrow pencils. Nothing compares. I don't think I've ever tried one, Tony. If I did, it was so long ago, like early in my makeup journey, because I do not remember ever trying those. What I like, though, about the Fenty is the one side is not a spoolie, because spoolies always feel like rough on my skin. And I like that it's a brush. And because I keep my brows trimmed, I don't really need a spoolie. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tried the MAC ones, Tony. So I got the Roxa palette in October, free shipping. I got it from the Natasha Denona site. And because I couldn't find the email of the credit that I have, I paid full price for it. And so I'm waiting for the Natasha's website to have their whatever end of year sale. Because I think I have like $91 or some change worth of credit. And whatever I get will likely be for my kid because I need nothing for me. Like, so and so I wish they would have paid out cash instead of credit because I'm like, but it still comes out to be money. So also in October, we purchased something from Sephora, and you already seen it. The lipsticks, the cream stain lipsticks. And I purchased 3 of them. They were $16 a piece. And so that came to $48. I received $5 worth of 5 times the rewards points for that. And so I paid $43 for it. I have a lot of rewards. I think I just mentioned it, didn't I? Yeah, I have like $70 worth of rewards points. Free shipping, and that's when I had told you I had got that little mini Dr. Dennis Gross face cream, and I was saying I only purchased that because I wanted the sample, and I thought it was going to be bigger, but I did use all of it up. I took it with me when I went to Academy, and actually today, for the first time, I used the full-size one, and Yeah, the other purchase I made in October, excuse me, was from the Scott Barnes website. He had a 15% off code. And so I got, and I think I probably showed it to you, that huge fluffy brush. It's the number 50 brush. No, it's not. It's $50. The number is number 69, and it's called the Good Face brush. I love that brush. And I did have two of them. I wanted another one because as my other brushes, they might dry within anywhere from like 4 to 12 hours, depending on what type of brush it is. Like this one will dry in like a few hours. This one that I use for foundation and primer, this might take like 8 hours. And because that other brush is so big and fluffy, it does take at least 12 hours, sometimes like 18 hours to dry. And so I wanted to have a third one. And there was 98 cents for guaranteed protection, guaranteed package delivery protection. Y'all, why am I like... So that came to $35.98 for a $50 brush. And shipping was $9.99. I hate paying for shipping. So I paid $45.97 for a $50 brush, which would have been higher if it wasn't the 15% off. Well, actually, it was a $15 off code and then the shipping. So it would have been $35 and some change, but shipping was almost $10. So I hate that. So, but I still purchased 6. I love that brush. And I didn't pay full price for it. So for October, we spent $157.97. And so to backtrack to when I started keeping track of how much I was spending every month, April, I spent $324.67. May, I spent $319.14. June, I spent $410.62. July, I spent $246.64. August, $241.64. September, $285.25. And October, $157.97. And I just had a thought that I need to add this up because I'll be like, that money, that it'll probably add up to what I pay for rent. Y'all, my rent is $1,380. There's cheaper places where I live, but it's not safe. And I'm like, I'm not living in a hood type area. Like I was kind of born and raised in one. Well, actually, close to one. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I'm adding up these numbers. This may be a short live for once. I mean, because that was it. And I did think to like bring all the products over here. And then I'm like, they sold all of this already. And I don't want to make a video unnecessarily long just because Dawn says her rent is high and cheaper places are yucky. Yeah, and parking issues. That too. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll be right here. And sometimes I do think to move and then I feel depressed because I really like where I'm at. And so there's that. Why is this? What the hell did I do? And my neighbor thought like if she was going to move too. And she's like me. We're both like, we don't really want to move. And I don't really want to live with anybody as far as having roommates. And so it's like what I'm going to do, you know. But we'll see what happens. My lease renews in June. And so I think it's like February or March when they send me the letter. And then I have to say if I'm going to stay or not. Yeah, they do stuff early. So I'm adding up these numbers to see how much we spent from April till now. This cannot, no. See, this might help me go on. Damn. This might help me go on and no buy. This is insane. And with the economy changing. And I think Sandy says you glad you don't pay rent, costs are crazy. And someone said to me before, just buy a house, the mortgage will be cheaper. True. When I had my house, I think, the house I had when I was single, both marriages, we ended up buying a house. When I moved to Delaware, I was in an apartment. The next year I bought a house. And I think I forget how much I paid, but my rent was like, well, not rent, but my mortgage was like $500 something a month, which was really cheap. But I was explaining to somebody, property taxes are outrageous. Property taxes are low here in Delaware. Dion and viewers, do you use Patrick Todd? Nope, I don't. Somebody sent me something of his to try, and it looked kind of funky. And that's when they were talking about the mold issue and stuff. So whatever that time frame was, so I'm like, I'm not trying it because it didn't look great. And I've never purchased his stuff. But do any of you in here use pantry top? Please let Tony know. Any of you refrigerator or water brush? That's exactly it, Dawn. But somebody said you can live somewhere. Because when I first moved here, I was next door in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And after 2 years, I downsized to a 1-bedroom, 1-bath because I wasn't using all the space in the apartment. So I'm like, why am I paying for space that I'm not using? But when I moved next door, and they were doing military discounts at that time too, 5%. And so I think I was spending, damn, this shit is crazy. I was spending about, my rent was about $970. And that sounds crazy now because now I'm paying $1,380. And I've been here since June 2012. So in 12 years, it totals to be like $600 more, which is like, what the fuck? But that's what I tell people. I'm like, okay, yes, I can buy a house and my mortgage may be $600. And so that would save me $700 a month. Here's the thing. Would I really save that $700 a month? And if I wouldn't, what would be the point? Because the roof leaks, you got to pay for that. Your water heater goes, your garbage disposal goes, your toilet breaks. You got to pay almost $100 just to get somebody to come to your door. And not to mention cleaning out the gutters, doing your yard work, and all of that. Your mortgage is over $3,000, says Tony. And so I said, when I think about all the costs, first marriage, we had a house. Second marriage, single, I bought a house. And I sold that to put money into dude's house so that we can sell it. And then we did, and we bought the house we had together. So I already knew houses cost money. And so I'm like, yeah, my mortgage might be $600, but if something breaks, and if I really don't save that other $700 a month, I'm going to be ass out. And so I'm like, I'd rather just be here. Yes, my rent is high. And if y'all have been here for a while, your mortgage, you on a farm, Sandy. Rub it in, Sandy. She said her mortgage is $320. And so when I think about it realistically, I would still be out of pocket. I would still be coming out of pocket. And I'm just like, so I'd rather be here. Oh, but this is what I was saying. Exactly. Then I'd rather just call maintenance. Maintenance always comes within 3 days. Any issue I've had, they came in 3 days. One day I went out to dinner with somebody. When we came back, there was smoke coming out of the utility closet. And so dude went to the circuit breaker box and turned and found like which one it was and turned it off. And they have an emergency number. So I called the emergency number and they were like, well, turn it off. I said, we did that already. And the next friggin' day, they were out there with a brand new water heater. And I'm thinking, because at first I thought they're going to take one out of somebody else's apartment. They didn't. It was brand new in the box, and the box was still sealed up. And I'm like, how much would I have had to pay for that? To go out and find a brand new water heater? You know what I'm saying? And so Dawn said maybe we can go live with Sandy in a tiny house. Kat says she just has a lip gloss and is really goopy from Patrick. Ew, that don't sound nice. Sandy says, bring your own makeup. It impresses the poultry. That is funny, Sandy. And so, yeah, in theory, okay, your mortgage is less than your rent. But in theory, if the person doesn't actually save the rest of that money, you're still going to be asked out paying for maintenance and upkeep and all of that. And so I said, I'd rather just be here. The only thing we pay for is electric. There's some months when I don't need to use AC or heat. And my electric bill might be, the cheapest it's been was like $29 and some change. The most expensive has been like in the dead of winter, and when my neighbor downstairs doesn't turn up his heat, I think it might have been like $140 something. And so that's just on top of the rent. But before COVID, Dawn says she'll entertain the heck out of those chickens. And property tax. Property tax in Delaware is fairly low, though. 1 year in Jersey, property tax is double. Like if your property tax was $800, the next year it was $1,600. I'm like, that is freaking insane. Like they think that people just get like where do they think they get their money from? New Jersey property taxes is high, and a lot of people from the neighboring states, they retire to Delaware because our cost of living is cheaper here. So I'm like, I'd rather be here and knowing I don't have to worry about any upkeep, anything, because I can see and hear where my money goes. If you guys were with me over the summer, you'll hear the lawnmowers going. You'll hear them, clanking because they're like hand cleaning the rails or they're sweeping the corners, getting the cobwebs out and all of that stuff. And so that's what I think about. I'm like, yeah, I can hear my rent money. Yeah, it's going to good. If it snows, if they even say it's going to snow, they come and put salt down. And then before it's even done snowing, the snow plows is out there because you hear from the snow plows on the ground. And the walkways, maintenance will shovel the walkways and put down salt. But as far as the parking lot, the snow plows are out here before the snow even had time to freeze and get hard. And I'm like, if I lived in a house, I would have to do that. And over the years, of course, my joint pain gets worse. And so I'm like, I'm not going to do lawn maintenance and shoveling snow and climbing up on a ladder to the gutters and all of that stuff, or whatever breaks down, then I got to figure out how to pay for it. And so, and that's what I tell people. And they're just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, but some people really do want a house. I'm like, just keep in mind, anything breaks, you better have money for that. So I'm going to redo these numbers because I'm just like, this may make me go into no buy because this is a lot of money. At the time, it doesn't seem like a lot of money. You know, 300 this month, 200 that month, 100 something this month. But looking at it like this is a lot. I'm going to be like, damn, really? So how much, and I know I did something wrong because this is doubling what it was before. How many of you guys in here do a beauty budget? And I know I usually ask that when I do these videos, or do you just buy whatever? Because cost does add up. And I am glad that I do. Oh, damn. I am glad that I do just use money from an account dedicated to this, because it helps me track what I'm spending. Damn, y'all, the numbers was right. Y'all, from April to October, and I told you I already made 6 purchases in November already. Y'all, I spent from April, because that's when I started tracking the how much I spent that month. From April until October, I spent $1,985.93. I'm like, what? Because it doesn't seem like it. And right now, I'm thinking like I could have had that $1,900 in a savings account. Well, that's the ways from Minnesota. Okay. Okay, I'm missing comments. Sandy asked what state Dawn was in. Our place has gotten better about water upkeep. Before that, they did nothing, telling us it's our responsibility. How are you responsible for weather upkeep? And then also the last house I had, they started charging us for them to pick up the trash. I'm like, So Kat and Dawn are not far apart. Excuse me. Sandy says, well, that's a ways from Minnesota, but hit me up anytime. My husband's house has an RV hookup. Just say anything in the extra room. Okay, and Kat's in Alberta. Tony said I had a beauty budget, but I went out through the window. I have no self-control. You know what? I would say being on, what's the word? Being on a fixed income, which a fixed income, it doesn't make sense to say that, because even when I was working, it was still a fixed income. Like when you know this is your wage, every 2 weeks is what you're going to get, that's still a fixed income. But I hear people say that when they're on their retirement or Social Security, or like me as a disabled veteran, they'll say fixed income. But all of us, unless we're wealthy, we're on a fixed income. But I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, I was going to say on a fixed income, like that's a lot of money. But all of us are on a fixed income. Oh, hey, Want to Be Natural? How are you doing? It's good to see you. Kat is telling Tony they share that on his live stream, not having a budget. But it has helped me to start keeping track. Dawn says her mom is on a fixed income. Sometimes job schedules have different hours from one week to the next. But anytime we're counting on our next check, that's a fixed income, because only wealthy people don't have to think about it. They can go out and do whatever and not even calculate the math. And some of them have financial advisors or financial management company that manages their money. And so all of us are on a fixed income unless we're wealthy, in my opinion, because all of us, like if you didn't get a check from your job in 2 months, you're going to find out how fixed your income is. So if we're depending on our biweekly check, we're on a fixed income. Especially if you don't have, they say have like 6 months worth of your salary saved up. I forget what the numbers they say, but Lux is what happened was we confessing how above budget we're spending lately. And the one has an income from pet sitting. I love it when it gets bright, the lights, but I don't know what's making it do that. And I don't even think it's the lights. I think it's whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But then it goes dim again. But Sandy says, I wish I could work to fix my 000 income. But all of us, whether you're working or retired, if you have to wait for your next check to do something, or if you're calculating money, that's a fixed income. And so it's kind of ironic when we say fixed income. All of us are on one, again, as I said, unless you're wealthy. And you can just shop or go wherever and not even worry about, do I have enough money in my account to cover this? You know what I'm saying? But so only Locke said something, and so nobody else? Oh, I missed one. Sandy says, no one says some of her jobs have seasonal overtime. Sandy says her last purchase was a birthday present to myself, was pre-order from Electrum Cosmetics, and I can't remember what it is, but it should be here this month. Okay. So who else has a budget, a beauty budget? Sylvia pays $150 and $1,800 rent, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. I have no beauty budget. LOL. I won Peter and Paul for my beauty once. You mean you robbed Peter for Paul? Yeah, I've heard that. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, that's an old saying. I can't wait until my birthday palette delivers, says Sandy. My husband is going to give me the side eye. I was thinking too, like next month is my born month. And so I get something free from Sephora. And usually I just say, give me the points. Because it's like you can get this little dinky thing, or you get 250 points. And right now, y'all, I have like 2,700 something points at Sephora. And there's nothing I want. So I'm just like, I don't know. And also gives a gift. The one last year was that 24 hours something moisture cream. It dried the hell out of my face. So that kind of sucked. But only buy on sale, mostly nails. It says want to be natural. Yeah, that's my perpetual low buy. Only buy stuff on sale or point multiplier, or there's a discount code. That's my perpetual low buy. But yeah, I broke it in September. No, I broke it in October for the Roxa palette, which I ended up giving away. Make it make sense. Lock does. I'm within it, and sometimes I'm over it. Yeah, and I don't keep track of. Locke also says I think there needs to be a serious no buy after this month. I don't. Okay, I co-host an event at the Playhouse every other month, and I think I put in 100 from that into my beauty budget. And what I did for my beauty budget account is, because I had I still do, I have multiple accounts at different banks. Yes, I did give away rocks to Tony. I sent it to Grace, and she already did a video with it. And so I said, because I'm like, how can I track this without like making myself nuts? And one of my accounts at USAA Bank, I said, you know what, I'll use that for my beauty budget account, because I wasn't really doing much with it. And so I said, that's going to be my beauty budget account. And so every other month we co-host, I put $100 in there from the event into my beauty budget. And I put in $50 from my VA check every month into the beauty budget account. And so it just sits. If I have like little side hustles that come in or something, I'll put maybe 20 or 30 more dollars in there. And so that whatever's in my beauty budget account, that's all I have. And when it runs low, it just runs low. So that helps me. So I don't necessarily track what's in it, but before I buy something, I check to see how much is in there. And so whatever that amount is, that's what I have to spend on beauty stuff. And at first I was counting skincare, and then I stopped because skincare is a necessity for me where makeup is not. And so that helps me track my beauty budget because it's only in that one account. So it's not like my regular everyday account and then I'm spending money from that, because then I would be like, okay, well, where did this come from, or what did I buy or whatever. So it helps me to have a separate account for that, because whatever's in there is what's in there. And I am careful not to let it get so low, because then I'll be like, damn, Fenty having a sale and I can't buy another brow pencil. Like, I don't want it to get like super low. And also because it is in a separate account, and it's a bank account. So there's no interest rate from on a credit card. That type of thing. Because we can say, oh, I got it on sale. It was 20% off. But if you put it on a credit card and you keep a balance on that credit card and you have an interest rate on that credit card, you're not getting that 20% off sale. And that's something I think people don't think about. Like, if you're using it, and I know some of you in here don't use credit cards, or you use it and pay it off every month. But if you keep a balance on that card, you're not getting that sale price. And so it was important for me to have my beauty budget in a bank account. So when I buy something, it's like it's being debited right out. And if the site is kind of being funky, I have that account connected to my PayPal. Then I'll pay through PayPal. It comes straight out of the bank account. Because I'm like, if you're paying interest on whatever you buy, that's not a sale. It's not. And these interest rates are out of control. My Wawa card, not beauty related at all, that interest rate is high as hell. I pay it off every month. I'm like that. I'm like, I refuse to pay this interest rate. Yes, I do pay that off every month. And if I have like a $10 balance on it, I'll still put like $50 or $60 on it. The $60 is like a tank and a half of gas. Yeah, occasionally you get hit with customs and duties too. Yep, y'all do. That's not here in the United States. And I think it's kind of weird in a way that Canada has those customs and duties, because it's like you can just drive over a bridge and get to Canada. So to me, it's not even like you got to get on a plane and go. Like, it's not far. And so it just always like, it just strikes me strange, because it's like y'all are connected to us, kind of, in a way. There has to be some kind of deal, because let me back up. Sylvia says, let me back up. Sarah says, I apologize, I'm cooking. Don't apologize for cooking, girl, please. Do not. You don't have a beauty budget, says Sarah. Sylvia said there has to be a sell discount code and gift card purchase. I have a senior graduating this year. Kids are expensive. Yeah. But that's good though, Sylvia. Have to be on sale or with a code or a gift card. Yep. And that would be in line with my perpetual low buy. Cass says there has to be some kind of deal, because if I buy from the States, yeah, you need lower free shipping and a discount to make it worth it. And that's what I hate about Sigma. I don't know how much you need to spend to get free shipping with Sigma, but it always pisses me off. But then I still purchase it. But then I purchase when they have a sale. So in a weird kind of way, it almost balances out. You know what I mean? But Sephora, because of my tier, I always get free shipping. Even Scott Barnes, I had to pay $10 for shipping. Well, I didn't have to because I didn't have to purchase it, but I wanted that brush, and it was 30% off, which took $15 off the brush. Occasionally, you get your customs. I do try to do 6 months no interest PayPal credit purchases. And Tony said I buy Sigma from Amazon. I have not purchased makeup from Amazon, but I have purchased skincare from Amazon if the skincare I'm buying is from that brand's website. Because some brand, like Dr. Dennis Groves, he has his own website, but he has a site on Amazon too. And so I will, I will buy skincare from Amazon. I just need to see it's coming from the brand. The only one I don't, as far as makeup, are the Inglot eyeliners. They don't come from the Inglot store. They come from like a third-party person. But it's still cheaper than buying from Inglot. But yeah, I haven't purchased any makeup from there. Am I lying? Did I ever purchase makeup from Amazon? I want to say no, except for the Inglot eyeliners. Because y'all know my skin is finicky. But then Amazon, you can usually return stuff for free, which I love. I just take it to the UPS store, and you don't even have to package it up. You just take it in and have your barcode on your phone that's saying it's being returned, and they do the thing, and you get your paper, and that's less than 5 minutes away. So that's really convenient. We only get $20 free. What can you buy for $20 these days, says Kat. Oh my gosh. Jeepers. Yeah. Lots of Sarah, don't listen to troll. A sign of an apology is if you sent over some of that cooking food over here. Me too. Oh my gosh. And y'all, I'm looking at my refrigerator like it's hardly anything in there. I have frozen food, like stuff I cooked and froze. But I'm just like, and what happens is when I know I'm going to be away for a few days, I make it a point to like eat what's in the fridge for whatever reason. And then when I come home from being away, I'm like, damn, I gotta like take something out, quick thaw it, or take it out for it to be thawed by the next day. Amazon is the shipper and Sigma is the seller. Sigma is the seller? Don't tell me. Well, you know what? There's nothing else I want from Sigma. Oh, wow. Sigma getting that free international ship. That's good. That's good. Because shipping is expensive. Ugh. Sandy says $14 for a gallon of my milk I can drink. Still cheaper than buying a cow so far. 14 gallons. Oh, that's from your animals, though, right, Sandy? Because I know you have a bunch of chickens. Well, no, it's not from your animal if you say cheaper than buying a cow. So what when you say a gallon of your milk, what is your milk? Like what does that mean? So I kind of want to say I'll do a no buy, but then I know I'll feel like shit if I break it. And I do have an accountability partner, and we're a good match. Hey, Sons of Ray, we're talking about beauty budgets. And so I ran through my purchases for September because I forgot to do it in October. So we did September's and October's. And when I totaled everything, which I've never totaled it all before, from April till October, I spent $1,985.93. And I'm like, that's a lot. Do you keep a beauty budget, Sons of Ray? I've heard that. Kat says, I've heard that the beauty of Joe's and sunscreen on Amazon is not the same as the stuff from Korea and leaves a white cast. Oh, you buy your milk. No suspension carrier, corn oil, or vitamins added. Oh, I admit I'm still confused. Tony says, I need an accountability partner because those beauty products be calling me. Y'all, it's really important who your accountability partner is, because back a couple years ago when I was still on Instagram, my makeup Instagram, someone and I still remember her name, I'm not going to say it, we agreed to be accountability partners, and we were going to do like a 3-month no buy. And y'all, if I would be like, oh, such and such, she would be like, oh, go ahead and get it. I'm like, you're supposed to be trying to talk me out of it. I mean, I didn't say it to her, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, this isn't good, because she's just like, go ahead. Sandra said, what you say with 4 question marks? I don't. I just use proceeds from affiliate links to selectively purchase things for the channel. Yeah. I love when people use my links. I'm like, y'all don't know like how much that helps. But even with that though, I'm still aware to maintain my perpetual low buy. And that's something I forget earlier when I was saying how much money goes into it. Whatever YouTube money I get, that goes into my beauty budget. Affiliate money, if it is money, that goes into my beauty budget. Some places give credit, which is okay, because if I love the brand, I'm going to end up buying something anyway. But it does help a lot, y'all. It does, because stuff is expensive. And so you know what? This dollar amount, because I don't track where the money's coming from. Like, is this from YouTube, or is this from co-hosting the event, or if this from, you know what I mean? So that total number, $1,985.93, some of that is affiliate money. I didn't think about that till now. Thank you, Sons of Ray, for saying that, because I don't track what from where. I just track it from the one account that I keep my beauty money in. You know what I mean? And so, but I am really glad that I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. But also, I would be like, oh man, this palette's coming out. And she would be like, oh, you should just get it. And I'm just like, girl, like in my mind. And she would message me and be like, oh, this brand was having a sale. I bought 3 palettes yesterday. And I'm like, why are we doing this no buy? Kat said she would convince me to buy more. And I really don't feel like I buy a lot of stuff. The stuff for my kit, that was a lot of stuff. And I didn't count that into my beauty budget because that's for the business, the side hustle thing. But yeah, that didn't work because like every few weeks she would message me like, oh, I got this, I got that. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, when this 3 months no buy is over, like I'm done. But the accountability partner I have now, we ask ourselves questions that we would ask ourselves. Like I'll be like she may say, give me 3 reasons why you want that palette. And so then I'm like, damn. Because my thing is, Tony says, but a no buy for a period of time makes you spend like crazy when it's over. And I've heard people say that. And I've seen people on their channel saying, I'm going on a no buy next month. So this month I'm gonna spend extra to make up for it. If you're making up for it, what's the difference? Like you're still where you started, which is broke. Like I don't know if they were broke, but if you're spending extra before the no buy, or if you spend more after the no buy, you might as well have not been on a no buy. In my mind, a no buy to me is like nothing except essentials. And makeup is not essential to me. But like say I'm on my last Fenty brow pencil, I'm going to buy a brow pencil. You know what I'm saying? If I'm running out, if it's an essential item or if I'm running really low, that to me is what I would break a no buy for. But just buying just new stuff, just nah. And so that I was just like, this ain't working with her. I'm like that. You can say no buy every other month, particularly for new releases. And Sandy, I don't buy a lot of new releases. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I did get an email from Lethal Cosmetics. Later on this month in November, they're going to put out they're going to sell their large mystery bags. And every year except last year, I think I get 2. And so sometimes it may be a shadow that overlaps or something, but the bags will be like half off. It'll be like $30-something for like $60-something worth of product, and they're full-size products. And so it is a really good deal. But then I was thinking like, do I really want to do that this year? Because it's always, oh, when it says 6 new items, it says 6 new products. So I'm like, oh, new stuff? That means I won't get repeats of stuff I already got. Because y'all know I have a lot of lethal shadows. And the one eyeliner I used, the second one, because one bag had one had another. I didn't open one because it was brown, and I have the Max Fluid line and Dip Down, which is a brown, so I never opened the other one. So for me, because I do want to keep a curated collection, I want my stuff to be unique, even though I got nude, well, that's for the kit. I got golden and warm, which make sense. But I strive to have stuff that's unique to my collection, my stash, my treasure trove, stuff that's unique, something that's going to add to what I have. And when I think about it, how realistic is it that I'm going to use it on a somewhat consistent basis? Somewhat consistent is because now I have, I think, like 70 palettes, I think. So stuff is not going to, one palette from whatever, something's not going to get used for at least like 2 or 3 months. But I ask myself, how realistic is it that I'm going to actually use this? And so those are questions that I ask myself. Sandy says, stop impulse purchases. Sarah says, finish watching my last item. I try to get things on sale. Yup. Use a code or set aside money for something I really want. Yup, absolutely. Cass says, I'm getting better at identifying what I actually will use and where, at least. Excuse me. Sarah says, hi, everyone that she didn't speak to already. Sandy, Black Friday and Christmas sales are always an exception for me when I had money to waste. And Monique is saying hi. Okay, let me know. I know I'm different. Y'all know I'm different. And some of y'all may remember I don't celebrate my birthday. I'm always kind of like, and no offense if that's you, when people say, oh, my birthday's coming up, so I'm going to buy such and such. Because in my mind, if you want something, just buy it. Like, why does it have to be for a specific day? Or because it's your birthday? Just buy it because it's on sale and you want it. That's just how my brain thinks. And I don't celebrate my birthday because, number one, I didn't do the work. My mom did the work. I was born 10 pounds, 10 and a half ounces. And she says I tore her and that they should have did a C-section and they didn't. So I would take her out for my birthday. I would take her to lunch, take her to manicure, pedicure. If she wanted to go shopping, I would take her shopping. Because I feel like, okay, when we're children, when we're babies, we have this thing about, I want to be a big girl. I want to be a big boy. So they're like, oh, you're going to be 5. And they make us feel all special and have a party and give us gifts. And I'm like, as an adult, why do I need that validation? Because if I want something, I'm going to wait for a sale and buy it. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to splurge. But like I said earlier, if you run a balance on your credit card and you're using that credit card to make purchases, what you're giving yourself is more debt. So I'm just, let me know if that makes sense, because I hear it a lot. Oh, my birthday, I'm getting this and I'm getting that, and I'm just like, you're grown, like you're not a little kid that wants to feel special because you're getting older. And again, I know I'm weird. Um, but and then too, I've only come across like 3 other people that said they don't celebrate their birthday. So we are rare people. We are rare people. So we ask ourselves, and we ask each other, why do you want it? And if it's like something where it's like, okay, you stretching, like we'll be like, well, what if? And so we really do. You celebrate you on your birthday. I didn't do nothing for Veterans Day today, y'all. And it's a lot of places around me that do free stuff. I ain't go nowhere. I went to Sephora and made a return and came home. You just hand that to your husband every month to send. And Tony says she does celebrate herself on her birthday. And I do say happy birthday to people because I know they celebrate their birthday. And if I see something throughout the year that I think somebody would really like I showed y'all that eyeliner thing that my friend gave me. If I see something I know somebody will like, I'll just buy it for them and then just give it to them. And so I don't wait for like a special day or whatever. But that's just me too still. And in the Ulta Beauty Board thing, they do surveys like every week for us to do. I have money in there too. Excuse me for poking your eye. I think I have $25 in there. So when y'all hear me say I had an Ulta gift card, it's from the beauty board because you earn points for doing a survey. But then as you interact with other people, if you're leaving meaningful comments to other people, that's what will also give you extra points. So whenever I say I had an Ulta gift card, it's money from that. And it's for Ulta. So that just comes, you redeem your points and get your gift card. Thank you, Kat. So I didn't go anywhere for it. Thank you, Monique. Doing since she showers herself with gifts all month. March 29th is your birthday, Monique. Happy early birthday, in case I forget by the time March rolls around. And so you don't celebrate yours either, Sarah? Oh my gosh. I just do whatever, whenever. Yeah. Wait for a sale. Because we know there's going to be a sale. Whatever brand are our favorites, it's going to be a sale. We know Pat McGrath's website, they're going to do a 30% off and then a 40% off. We know Natasha does her sales around this time of year that it's almost buy one palette, get one free. Other brands. So we know whatever our favorite brands are, we know when they're going to have themselves. We know about the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty and just be hoping like something we love is going to be in the sale. If you're Rouge at Sephora, you're going to get 20% from there. And so it's like, just wait. So we ask ourselves questions, and sometimes we'll flat out say, talk me out of this. I want to get this because I love the packaging. It's like, well, are you going to use the packaging? If it's one of them, I still have that 10 from Fenty probably 5 or 6 years ago that they had gloss bombs in. I still have that 10. And it did come with gloss bombs in it. So if it's something reusable, okay, yeah. But if you're going to buy it just for the packaging, and so we will tell each other, like, what are you going to do with the packaging? And then it's like, then we'll send each other like sad faces or something because we know the other person is right. And then we have decided we're not going to get it. So it may feel like, damn, because we want somebody to say, like the other comedy partner, go ahead and get it. That's what we want to hear. But when it's like, give me 3 reasons why you want this. Is this going to add to what you have? Is this going to dupe something that you have? And so, but this partner is awesome because we man. When I was thinking of getting a Pride palette earlier this year for Pride Month, in Pride Month, Kat keeps all packaging. I keep packaging until I'm sure I'm going to keep a product, meaning because if I'm not sure about it, I'll give it to somebody I know. So, like with Roxa, I didn't throw the palette away because I wasn't sure. And as time went on, I'm like, I'm not going to keep it. So it's nice to put it back in the box and send it to the person. But once I decide I'm going to keep it, I throw the packaging away. It feels like lipstick or lip gloss, but the Sephora ones don't even come in packaging. But like the Fenty gloss bombs come in packaging, that goes in the trash right away. But yeah, I do put things in little tins. It keeps the clutter down. Yeah, and Matt gave me that huge lipstick thing that the lady gave me for free, so I have stuff in there. So if and I don't like clutter. So if I can put something in something and it doesn't look like why is that there, like I will keep it. Cindy says just got an ad for over easy brand chicken coop. Yeah, no, it's hard. I need at least 3 new coops. That is funny. Oh my gosh. You never shop Ultra 21 days, Tony? I think it was this year. The Peter Thomas Roth Potency Serum that I like was in the sale, and I bought a ton. And it hasn't been in that sale for 3 or 4 years. And I bought a ton back then too, because when I first started using that serum, it was $98. And then it was $102. Then it was $105. And I go through it in like 6 months. And I'm like, that's a lot of freaking money. So when that's in there, you don't have a junk drawer cat. I don't either. And so I did buy, I think I want to say I bought like 7 or 8 of them, at least 7 of them, because they were half off. And I'm like, oh. But I only shop sales, period, usually. Because I don't want to lie to y'all. If it's something I already knew that I wanted, because then I'll just wait for it. Like every 21 days of Sephora. I am so off today. I'm always off. What am I saying? I'm like hoping that serum is in that sale because it's $105 now. And so I hear people do say, oh, so-and-so's having a sale. Let me see what I'm going to buy. If you don't already know what you want to buy, you're just buying it because it's on sale. Like that, you're just giving yourself more debt unless you pay off your stuff every month or just use your regular debit account. So I don't buy stuff just because. Dion, you and everybody here says Sandy really lifted my mood today. Thank you all for the distraction. I've not been feeling very well. Thank you. You're welcome, Sandy. This was me yesterday. I don't know if you watched the live I did. Y'all, when I realized that live was like 2.5 hours yesterday, I was like, holy crap. But that's how I felt yesterday, Sandy, in the live, because I was just, and I was so appreciative, to who was here. And so I can relate to what you're feeling is what I'm saying. And I'm glad that we can be here for you. Like, seriously. I mean, this is our little community here. We're here to support each other. And so I do hope you feel better soon though, Sandy. I do. Yeah, and I hear it a lot. Oh, they're having a sale. I'm gonna just go see. I'm like, if you just go see, chances are you're gonna buy something. And I know people who their hobby is just going to Sephora, walk around, go to Ulta, walk around, go to TJ Maxx, walk around. I'm like, you just want to spend money. and that's why I order from Sephora online and pick up in store, because I'll see stuff and I'll be like, oh, that's in one of these boxes, one of these Sephora boxes. When I went to pick up my order, when I was leaving the store, I was like, let me just keep going. Because it looked different in person than online. And so when I saw it in the store, I was like, and I'm like, look away. And I kept looking. I was just like, oh, shit. So I ended up ordering it. And I'm like, this is why I don't come in the store. And it was during the Rouge sale, so that helped. And I can say I doubt I would have purchased it if it wasn't on sale. At the same time, though, I didn't get it before when it first came out because it looks similar to something I already have. But when I seen it in the store, it looks different than what I have. So I'm just like, oh, shit. I'm like, I'm in trouble now. Dawn says, have you seen those channels where someone is at TJ Maxx and the chat is ordering things they see by sending? Wait. People shop at TJ Maxx and they order stuff when people send Cash App to. What the hell? I don't even know what to say. What the fuck? Like, what? So is it a personal shopper where, like, say I'm going shopping, I don't know what to get. So I'm in TJ Maxx shopping and showing y'all stuff, and you tell me what to get, and then you give me the money for it. Is that what it is? Or is it like, I'm going to TJ Maxx, send me money so I can buy something? So is it the first scenario or the second scenario going? Because that's what I need to know. Because I'm, what? So is it the first one where you are like my beauty advisor and you're saying get this and then you send me money to get it, which is weird anyway, but at least it's like, okay, somebody's helping you shop, or you know you're going to shop and you just want them to send you money. Yes, I say, Dion, I want the Hello Kitty mug and you tell me what you'll charge me. So they're buying stuff for other people, not for themselves. Is that what you're saying? So I see something and I'm showing it as I'm going through TJ Maxx, and you're like, oh, I want that Hello Kitty mug. And I say, well, send me the money and I'll buy it for you. Is that the scenario? You got to type quick, Dawn, because I'm stuck. So Locke says, it sounds overwhelming, at least for me. I can see if it was a smaller group, like members only. But even, well, but you know what, Locke? Wait, Dawn is saying you just wandered around showing us what it is, and we're all saying what we want. Oh, hell no. Because then you got to pay for shipping. Well, I guess if they're paying you money to buy it, they pay you. Nah, fuck that. No. Go get your own stuff. The one said it's so ridiculous because they obviously have to charge more to ship. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're going to pay me this $9.99 for this Hello Kitty mug and then another $6 to ship it to you. Nah. $5 mug be like $15. Nah, no, that's a no. Hell to the no. No. So like I was saying, it does sound overwhelming. I can see if it's so members only. I wouldn't ask members for money because y'all pay to be a member of the channel in the first place. So I don't want to be like, send me more. And with any video or live stream or whatever, or premiere, there's always chats and super thanks. And so if somebody wants to just give extra money, then they can just do that anyway. You know what I mean? And I always forget that. And I usually don't even mention like super chats and all of that stuff because, yeah, I would never like ask members for money. That's rubbing me the wrong way. But you know what? And what's crazy is that people do it. So when I saw the Pride palette, I saw it online from an email from Mac, and I'm like, oh, the packaging is bomb. And I do like Mac's shadow formula. But when I saw Janessa's video with the palette, I was like, and I went in Mac, I ordered online, I went to the store to pick it up, and I looked and I was like, and then I kept trying to walk away, but it just kept like, it was like a magnet. It kept drawing me back. And I was like, fuck. It was $150, as y'all know. All of the cost, $150 that you pay for the palette, went to the LGBTQIA plus community. So I did like that. But I was just like, damn, I came here to pick up an order, not to buy something. And so I text my accountability partner, and it helps too to reduce impulses, because I could have been like, oh shit, I'm here, I see it, I'm gonna buy it. And so when I got home, I messaged my accountability partner, and she texted me saying, give me 3 reasons why you want it. I listed like 7 reasons, and she was like, okay, you already failed the assignment. She said, you already failed the assignment, and I don't know what to tell you. And as y'all know, I did get it. But those are the things, like asking myself and also having someone else ask me, why do you want it? Is it going to be unique to what you have? Is it going to dupe other stuff you have? How realistic is it that you're going to use it? What do you like about it? You know, that type of thing. And it does slow me down a lot, because once you start asking yourself all the questions, it's not fun anymore. It's not like, oh, the Yucca palette, let me just order it. It's just like, am I going to use it? So it takes the excitement away from it when you ask yourself those questions, and when your partner is asking you those questions, because then you have to sit and really think. And then depending on what your answer is, you might be like, yeah, that ain't sound right. And so this one, we're a good fit to be accountability partners. Yeah, that first one though, oh, just go ahead and didn't get it. Every few weeks, she was messaging me like she bought something. I'm like, we're supposed to be on a no buy. Like what? Well, it's an indie brand and it was limited edition and pre-order. And I'm just like, but still, a no buy is a no buy. Like if you're gonna have all these exceptions, don't be on a no buy. You know what I mean? But that's just me. Kiki channel was how I found out. Oh wait, I'm missing. Nina said, "Oh hey Nina." She says, "Hello, I caught the end of it on Kiki channel. Talk about this plus $15 finders. What? Sorry for yelling. I'll be dang if I'm gonna pay for something at TJ Maxx. It's normally $20 for a blanket. The thing is, excuse me, people do it, and I'm like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Like they have too much extra money. That's what it is. Dawn says her mouth was hanging open listening to it all. And the lady had an attitude with the shit. How you gonna have an attitude with people you trying to get to send you money for you to buy them stuff, and you're gonna upcharge it because you gotta pay for shipping and gas because you gotta go back and forth to the post office, and you gotta have shipping materials, boxes, and bubble wrap and tape. Girl, yeah, that does feed on impulse buying. One of my trolls, y'all, I really appreciate because, well, I do appreciate all my trolls. I don't think that will last too long. Dawn says, "Cat, they will get it and realize how they got ripped off." So here's my question too, Dawn. When this person is showing stuff on TJ Maxx, do they show you what the price is? Because you would already know like what it costs. OMG, once the package comes, I put it to the side, and sometimes I don't get to it in a long time, etc. It's Circle Loco. Whew, she was gonna irritate. People weren't clamoring for stuff. You know, that whole thing, y'all. She trying to have a side hustle. That's what she doing. I mean, I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm just like that shit just sound crazy. I had maybe a couple of years ago, I was watching the channel. It was one of them dumpster dive channels, and they would go behind Ulta, dig through the dumpsters, and they would still not still because it's in the trash, but they would do. Oh, look at this! She said it's so cute. These clothes. Nah, I ain't got the energy for all that. And so they would dumpster dive behind like Ulta and like, TJ Maxx, whatever, Ross, whatever. You can get DoorDash or skip the dishes and go get it for yourself. Exactly. But every store doesn't have the same thing. Because I'll be watching Grace's TJ Maxx stuff and I'm like, your TJ Maxx has a lot of good stuff. Mine's look like a thrift store. Like seriously, I'm like, oh. But the further I go, depending on the area, they have better stuff than. Because I think the closest TJ Maxx to me is like 15 minutes away. There is a Marshall's that's like 10 minutes away, but it's like, it's iffy except the stuff that's locked up. And they recently started locking stuff up over the summer. Because prior to that, you open something, it's either shattered, it's broken. You can see people done swiped it, finger stuff, all that. But yeah, one of my trolls, like she'll send me a screenshot. She's like, I'm in TJ Maxx. They have this. Like if it's something she really thinks I could like or that I would benefit from. And then I'll be like, I'll pass. And so I do appreciate that because my TJ Maxx sucks. And Marshall's is kind of iffy because people be opening stuff. There's one time I was in there. This lady, everything she touched, she was like, she opened something else. I'm like, can you not touch everything like you're a child with ADHD? She was opening and touching everything in the makeup section. And I'm just like, and it was something I wanted to look at. And I'm thinking, don't touch that. Do not fucking touch that. Because I knew she was going to open it and then touch the product. But I was like, that's TJ Maxx. Yeah, all TJ Maxx are not created equal at all, Nina. I agree with you. And sometimes the clerk high stuff too. Or Ross is doing where one shoe is in the kitchen compartment, the other bedding. What the hell? That's why they be putting them strings on them or whatever. So they stay together. That is funny, Dawn. Maybe you should go to a different neighborhood, Dawn and Sandy. When I was going for a massage up in Wilmington, I was 10 minutes away from a TJ Maxx and a Marshalls. And so when I would go for the massage appointment, I would go to both of them because they were kind of close to each other. But other than that, I'm like, I'm not driving 20 minutes to hope they have something I want. So when I be watching Grace's TJ Maxx stuff, I be like, Because I'm all for sending you the money for it and for poses, but I'll be looking at her videos like, one time I texted her, I'm like, how much was that palette you saw? And she told me how much it was and she got it for me. But my local, we have Marshalls and Winners here. I've never heard of Winners. It's much better, and Marshalls is a mess. Lax says, with certain things while checking out, I asked the SA thing, ringing it up, if it's okay to open. I do the same thing. I'm like, is it okay if I check it? And some stuff they put locks on. And so you can't open it until you get to the register. And they have to open it for you to make sure nothing is broken. So far, I have been allowed to do so. I have done it at Sephora and TJ Maxx. Yes, Sephora will. When I order online to pick up, I say, can I check it? They're like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, they do it like, why are you asking me? They be like, yeah. And they be making faces like that. They be like, yeah, go ahead. And I'm like, okay, damn, you don't gotta be aggressive about it. Like, I'm just asking. Yeah, but they always be like, yeah, go ahead. And I'll be like, okay, thank you. Dawn says, to Grace, I thought that would be exciting. So when I do pet sit, I go to different places. Nope, still nothing, or it's still too pricey. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, why drive over? Well, for me, it would be like 20, 25 minutes. But then I'm like, then I'll go there spending gas and get there and it's still crappy stuff or stuff I don't want. So I'm just like, no. I'm like, I'm not going to go that way. If I'm in an area and I see one, I may or may not stop. But I don't travel distances just to see, because that's wasting gas. Yeah. So if you do decide to have an accountability partner, it's important for both y'all to be on the same page, and somebody that is as diligent as you are with purchases, and also already ask themselves that question. And just how for me, I ask myself those questions. And so we just kind of be asking each other the same questions that we ask ourselves. But then it's different when you're saying it to a person and they give you an answer versus just in your own head, like, am I going to use this? And when somebody else asks you, am I going to use it? It's like, am I? Like, it just hits different. Because the accountability partner, they're holding you accountable. And if you take that seriously, it's going to hit you more seriously when you're chatting with that person about something. Like I said, I'm asking because if I were to do it in the aisle, I don't want people thinking I'm about to steal something. That too, i.e. those SA that are overly helpful because they're low-key spy. Yep. You start looking at stuff, they come over and all of a sudden they start fixing stuff that didn't need to be fixed. And then they might do the aisle behind you, but then they be looking. They do that at the Sephora I work at. I mean, I work at the Sephora I go to. I'll be cracking up. I'm like, we know what you're doing. Because first of all, as a Black person, I'm used to being followed around the store. And so I know what they doing when everywhere I go, they just be like, acting like they fixing stuff. And they go do something with the end cap, but then they be like, I'll be like, I see you. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. And I be wanting to laugh. But it is an issue because it seems like since the summer, because and y'all might remember this, like even on YouTube, they were saying how Sephora was having problems with people stealing product. I'm like, what? And it might have been Jen Luvs that was talking about or something, but this was probably over the summer. Yeah, that's exactly it. Says when we get overly helpful or we have our eye on someone. It was so busy in there today, y'all, when I went to make that return. I was just like, get me out of here. And then I'm looking at stuff. I'm like, let me stop looking. Let me just get in line. It was like 9 people in line. I'm just like, oh my gosh. The one said she's not even tempted this month like I was last year. Not yet anyway. I can say I do hope Natasha has a good sale because there are a few things. And I think I'm just going to get some minis for my kit. And I was really thinking, I do still think I want to get Circle Loco for my kit. Because if somebody wants something bold and colorful, that'll be that. And then I was thinking, what if I put together a lethal palette with metallics? Because I have enough, matte shades, but I don't know. Kat says, I am so friendly and end up helping people in the store more than the sales associates do. What I can't stand, Kat, and the rest of y'all in here, is, you see somebody wearing all black and they're doing something with a display. And you go over and be like, oh, such and such. Oh, I don't work here. I work for this brand. Bitch, like what the... Why are you over here if you can't help me? You dress like all the Sephora employees. They be like, oh, I don't work here. I work for Too Faced. So why you ain't over there with the Too Faced stuff? Oh, you just ain't want to help me. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Y'all, these people be funny because they think we don't know what they're doing. We know exactly what they're doing. And so I do recommend having some type of way that you're tracking what you're spending every month. If possible, and you have a low rate credit card or you're really good about paying off your credit card every month, just have one credit card that you use for all your makeup stuff because it'll help you track it. Even if you don't do the numbers, you'll still be able to see when you get your statement, like, okay, yeah, this is what it is. Or if you do just want to use your debit card, just designate like one account specifically for that. And so whatever goes in there, that's all you have to spend. So that way your money's not getting mixed with money for other stuff. Dawn says, I have the opposite issue. I have a grocery emblem on my shirt and a name tag, and people ask me if I work there. So why are you wearing shirts with grocery store emblems on it? And a name tag. It does sound like you work there. Locke says, I love the tracking because I love looking back and comparing the same time a year ago. So that means I gotta keep this going and then look at this next year. At the top of the page, I have started keeping like April, May, June. So that's over here when I was looking at it on my computer. Where am I? And I wrote it down. And so I did decide to keep it at the top because January, February, March, I didn't keep it. And so I said, I'm gonna start keeping it. And that's a good thing, Locke, because I do thank you for mentioning that. Because I'm sitting here like I spent almost $2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 months. I spent almost $2,000 on makeup stuff. I'm gonna have to rethink. I'm gonna have to rethink that. Mike says an easier way to go to the retailer and adding up how much I spent in a year on my account there. It will say that. It will say that. Dawn says, "Oh, she's standing by her register with the light on and ask if I'm open." Dawn. Dawn, you are a hot troll mess. There, I said it. Okay, I'm just okay. Dawn, you are funny. Oh my gosh. Nina says she had a hoot. We helped each other out. Y'all are funny. Oh my gosh. And so I'm really trying to think of what to do different. And whatever I do different, I like my base face thing going on. And we ain't even do a lot, y'all. We use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products, not including the lippy. I'm liking this. I got distracted. Yeah, because how many months was that? 2, 4, 6, 7 months, almost $2,000. And I do know some channels, their budget is like $100 a month. And it doesn't carry over. Whereas in my account, whatever's there is there, and it does carry over because it's my actual bank account. But I did think about that, and I'm like, $100 a month. Nah. Because even if I get a mothership on sale for 40% off, which brings it to $77.40, that's almost my $100. I was like, nah. Like, that ain't gonna work. Nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. But I think along with my perpetual low buy, like I said, I remember maybe 7 years ago, I was bored and curious about how much I spent at Sephora and Ulta. Wow, quickly regretting investing. Sephora. Oh, okay. Wait. So that was 1 year? You spent like 10. Is that really 10,000 or did you put one too many zeros? $10,000 in 1 year at Sephora and 7,000 in that same year at Ulta? Locke, I respect the hell out of you. Because I wouldn't have said that. I'd have been like, I overspent 1 year. That I respect that, Locke. I respect you for that. Because whoa. And I'm talking about $2,000 in 7 months, and you just spent $7,000 in a year. Oh my God. Damn. Dawn says to Locke, I'd rather be an ostrich with my head in the sand about how much I spent. Damn. Oh my gosh. And then Locke says she felt sick when she really calculated that. Damn. I don't even I don't even know what to say except like sincerely, I respect you for sharing that. And that goes to show like how much we spend and we're not aware of it. And it has helped me doing the beauty budget, having the separate account, keeping track every month, and just comparing the numbers and stuff. Damn. Tony says, yes, it adds up. I've been there and I had to check myself. I actually told my husband about it, says Lot, and I could not figure out where all the stuff was. That's bad. And that's the thing that goes to how realistic is it is that I'm going to use it. Or I'll be watching somebody's video and they're like, oh, they're shopping at Stash. Oh, I have this palette. I've had it like 7 months. I haven't used it yet, so I need to use it this month. I'm like, wait a minute. You had that palette for 7 months and you ain't even used it yet? Oof. What helps me too is that when I do my live stream and I do the swatches, because then after that I start doing looks, and y'all know I'll run through a palette, however many looks it takes to use every shade, I'll do that, and then I'll sit it aside and then start using other stuff again. And so I might not get back to that palette for like 3 or 4 months, but I know I've used every shade at least like 3 or 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And so then I don't feel bad about what if I never use it again? Well, I ran through it like a cheap hoe when I got it though. Dawn says, I feel bad when I had credit cards. I denied myself nothing. And that's the thing, y'all. We think, oh, it's on sale. I get it. You pay for the credit card and you run a balance. You don't get that sale because you're paying interest. Nina said, I watch other creators easily drop 3,000 in one haul. That sounds crazy to me, except if they're making twice that from YouTube partnership program. Because some of the people who are living off of YouTube, they might get $150,000. Well, I don't know that. But they might get $15,000 a month, roundabout, from YouTube every month. So yeah, if you're getting $15,000 a month, okay, $3,000 ain't nothing because you're going to be using it in your videos, and then people are going to be seeing it, and then they're going to be using your code, and so you're getting money from affiliate links, and plus you're getting money from ad revenues and And so that's the only way that makes sense to me, is if you are living comfortably off of YouTube, the YouTube money. And I told y'all this before, and it's still true to this day. I don't get a YouTube check every month, and the threshold is $100. I get a check every other month. I don't even make $100 a month off of YouTube. But other people, they do. They might get, $300-$400 every month. The larger channels might get like $15,000 a month or something like that. And yeah, if this is your job and you're living comfortably, then yeah, because you're not coming out of pocket. Other than that, if you're just a regular person like me, oh, hell no. Locke says, I feel like I'm a generous person. So my thought was, I purchased it, and if it doesn't work for me, I usually pass it on to someone else or donate. And that's me, Locke. And last night, when Dee was like, you need to return it. She's like, you don't return a lot of stuff and you buy stuff. And I said, you know what, I am. And so what I do, when I got up today, I took my ass to Sephora, returned that mini powder and that mini spray. And I had that money get refunded to my beauty budget. Because I do that. I'll text somebody that I think might like it, like Roxa. And I think it was meant to be, because Grace calls herself the purple palette connoisseur. And she didn't get Roxa. And so when I knew in my heart that I wasn't going to use it, because I saw all the other purple looks I had, and I realized I had a lot of purple shadow, I texted her, hey, would you like it? And so I sent it to her. So that I think that worked out that way, because usually Grace just be buying stuff, but she did not buy Roxa. And so I texted her, hey, you want this? She's like, oh, wow, thank you. And I've done that with other people too in here. Like, it's like, hey, do you want this? And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. But I don't, if I decide not to keep something because I don't like it, that's when I give it away. If I have a reaction, I want my fucking money back. But I didn't have a reaction to the palette. And so, I gave that away. And I hear people in videos, oh, I bought this, I'm going to return it after I use it. I'm like, you should have kept that to yourself. Have some shame. Like, what the hell? I'm getting a lot of ads to Dixon's cat. Aw, well, thank you for watching them if you do. I think there's a certain number of seconds that it needs to be viewed in order for us to earn money off of an ad. But I forget how many seconds it is, though, I think. Because I used to skip, and then I finally got YouTube Premium, which we still get ad revenue from channels that have YouTube Premium and don't see ads. Did I miss Kim? Okay. Nina says she's thrilled to see you True. Also, Grace does a lot of resource. Exactly. In comparison videos, I appreciate her videos. Me too. When Nomad came out with that black and that Valentine's Day palette, one side was all red and one side was something else. It was only 5 shadows in it that weren't pressed pigments. And so I had contacted Grace and I said, well, after I do a look with the shadows I can use, if you would like it, I'll send it to you. And she said, yeah. And so I sent it to her because I said, I'm only asking you just to do a look. And I had already messaged Felicia to tell her I was going to pass it on because my lids don't tolerate pressed pigment. So it wasn't like I got PR and I'm just giving it away. And when they came out with the Royal Crown palette or whatever, and that had pressed pigments in it, and I'm like, and I like to be able to use an entire palette. And I messaged Felicia again, and she was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. And that was the thing. Grace, the battles, the new school versus old school, the muted versus colorful, why you don't need, she's gonna be showing palettes. And so I felt really good that I had someone to send it to that was going to do it justice and not just me use 5 shades and you never see it again type of thing. Because I do want stuff to be used. And she does a whole lot of content, as y'all know. Did you address that once? I'm sorry, I messed up. Okay, where am I at? Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, I feel really good when I send her stuff. I don't return makeup. Maybe I should start doing that when I don't like stuff. If I don't like it, I just give it away. If I have a reaction, like it breaks my face out or something, that's when I want my money back. Kim said I don't have any cats, but YouTube is full of them. Oh wow. And so that's me. But when Dee said that last night, she was like, you should just return it. Because I was going to wait, because I remember saying Fabulous 50 hours, she'll be here Saturday unless something changes. I'll see if she wants the powder and the spray. Dee was like, return it. She's like, you buy enough stuff, just return it. And so I was like, you know what, I am. And I thanked her for telling me that, because I really wasn't going to return it. And the refund was only like $28.80 because the stuff was going to sell, and they were the minis. And I really felt okay returning, because I really don't be returning stuff. I don't. I give stuff away. So not only did I buy it, but then I got to pay for shipping and then pay for gas to get to the post office. And so it adds up. But yeah, I took it back today. I used the heck out of that blush you won in a giveaway. I am so glad, Tony. I love when someone wins a giveaway of mine and it's something that they wanted and they get it and they really like it. I just want stuff to be used and to be liked. You know, and after it's out of my hands, it's like, why do you care? But I do. And I am glad that you really like it. I am. And I remember asking you, I'm like, did you really want it though in the first place? You were like, yeah, I did. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's really cool too, when you won something and then you win it. Like, wow. That made me happy. That enhanced my happiness. Nina says, I wonder if they put it back on the shelves if unopened or go through a returns process. At Sephora, they always ask me, have you used it? I'm like, yes, I've used the powder and I've used the spray. So then it gets damaged out and then it's supposedly going to trash or whatever. And Ulta's the same way. They'll say, did you use it? But then I wonder, like, do people lie and be like, no, I didn't use this lipstick? That ain't right. Dawn says she got the chapstick I gave her right beside me. Have you used it today, Dawn? That's the question. Oh, so the dumpster diving thing, I forget what the channel was, and I was like flabbergasted. Yup, awesome. Got to keep your lips moisturized. And so I was watching it, and I forget what the video was titled, but they videoed. It was her and her husband and one other person, because the other person was videoing them going into the dumpster. And they had those little claw things. Like if you ask somebody, can you get that? That's on like, 20 feet in the air, and they take the thing out and dig it. They had those for the dumpster. And so they were like rooting around, getting out stuff, and they would pull it out and be like, oh, well, here's this powder. And they would open it and be like, it looks, and that shit was looking crazy. They was like, oh yeah, we can clean this up. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay, it has some left in here. And y'all, they'd be like, there's something in here. I'll clean up the outside of it. Or they'd be like, oh, here's a tester and half of it's used, but, we can clean it up. And what they call it is souping. And they had asked, why do companies intentionally destroy makeup when it goes in the trash? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Dawn. I got a ton from those Prime One Prometics blush and bronzers from you. Oh, I'm glad you did. Locke says they toss it if it's been used. And I wonder if sometimes people lie and be like, no, I didn't use it. And I always say yes, because I always did, because I don't want them putting it back on the shelf and somebody buy it. And I've heard of people buying stuff and they're like, I opened it and it looked like it had finger marks in it. Looked like somebody's watching it. I thought employees were supposed to destroy the product. They call it souping. And it's where they'll put stuff in the dumpster and then they'll open like a return shampoo and conditioner and they'll like pour it all over all the stuff. So then it's really messy and it's supposed to deter people from trying to steal it out the dumpster. But these people, they were pulling out stuff. The stuff was looking gross. But they would go home and clean it up and, wash it or whatever. And then they would show at the end of the video this huge long ass table with all the stuff. And I swear to you, even though we saw that stuff come out the dumpster, you seen it, Nina? It blew my mind. I was like, and so knowing how it looked when they pulled it out the dumpster and then to see it on a table, it looked like it was brand new. I mean, yes, you could tell this is up to here. But the packaging, it looked brand new. You would never know it was souped in the dumpster. And so, yeah, they damaged it out. They call it souping because they put liquid stuff in there to make it messy so people will be deterred from taking it out. They were selling it. I don't know where they sold it, but they had a YouTube channel. And it's like, if you want something, just, let us know. And they were still testers too. Like even if it was makeup brushes, they would take them off the plastic thing it was in and they would, wash the brushes or whatever and sell them. I was like, and people was buying it. People was fucking buying it. You're watching them dumpster dive. You see what the shit look like. Then you seen it cleaned up and you buy it. And I understand some people they're not able, like all of us here, we want something, we buy it. Even if we wait for a sale or a gift card or whatever. So I'm thinking they must really, I don't know how to say it without sounding like a bitch. If they really just can't afford it. And so, yes, it looks nice. Yes, I know they got it out of a dumpster. Yes, I know they cleaned it up. But it's $3 plus shipping. I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know if they sold it on Macari. And she had stuff in her information box. But I was like, and I think I watched like 3 of those videos in a row. Because I was just like, this cannot be real. Because to see how it looked coming out the dumpster, I was like, ooh. Or stuff would be in the bag. They would open the bag, and the person is recording all this for the video. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this has been used, but we can clean this up." And oh, blah 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 blah. And oh, this powder, yes, cracked and broken. We'll repress it and clean up the outside. Y'all, I was just like, "What the hell?" And people were buying it. But to see the display on the table, it looked like a bunch of whole brand new stuff. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Sadie says, yeah, that's people dumpster that. And the thing is even if it's testers, how many people don't touch that and had it on their skin or whatever? And then you buying it out of a messy dumpster. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Nina says she purchased something from Macari and it's been 2 weeks, not in transit yet. I think you should report it because something didn't come, because we have a certain amount of days as a seller. We have a certain amount of days that we have to send something out, and they will send us an email every day. You have 3 more days to send it. You need to send it by this date. The next day, you have 2 more days to send it. And so she was shady. She was shady because I ordered something, a whole week went by. It did not ship. So I reported it on Amazon saying I would like to cancel because they, do you want to cancel the order? And then it's like, why? And I'm like, it hasn't shipped. And they can see it wasn't shipped. And so the next day, I got an email back saying we can't cancel your order because it's been shipped. And then I got a shipment notification. I'm like, this bitch. But then I'm like, maybe she forgot. I mean, I don't know. But when I sell stuff, I will get an email every day. And usually I mail within 24 hours. But it was like a whole week. But if you don't mail it that next day, you'll get an email the next day. Yeah, so I think you should. Oh, it's too late to cancel? I missed the seller twice and he MIA. But I didn't have to contact the seller to cancel it. It was Macari itself. Hey, Fell Frightful, how are you? I feel like a lot of people get blinded by the deal and will buy stuff they don't need once just because it's cheap. That too. But my thing is, it's used and it was in a dumpster. Like, so of course it's going to be cheaper than full price. I just can't wrap my head in. And maybe because I'm skittish like that. Which surprised me when I bought that Pat Quint off of Macari. I think that was my first makeup item I've ever purchased on Macari. Because I'm scared. Like, I don't know if they smoke. Is it going to smell like an ashtray? Is it going to have pet hair in it? And they might say, swatch 2 colors once and then you get it and there's dips in all the shadows. Like, but thankfully, like, it did look new. Look new. And I think she said she had swatched like 2 of the 4 shadows or something. And I couldn't even tell by looking at it. But sometimes as like I feel like there are some that could afford it, but why? Because a discount would be great. Yeah, but for trash, but I'm telling you, they cleaned it up so well. The packaging looked brand new, and I'm like, they must have been scrubbing this stuff. You got dried up conditioner, shampoo, glue, all type. Paying $50 for something that's worth 100. Yeah, I mean, you do have a point. It's slightly like when people buy used car versus new. Yeah, or buy it at a car auction. Yeah, the price drops when that car is driven off. Exactly. Sandy has 4 sisters. Everything was shared, but that's different. That's family. You're not buying stuff off of a complete stranger that you saw, just took it out of a dumpster and then washed it like that. Oh boy, I was just like this. I had to watch another one because I'm like, this can't be real. And the whole channel was dumpster diving and cleaning it up and selling it. Excuse me. Nah, I'll wait for a sale. So for next year, what I'm now thinking is, and even though I am going to stay on a perpetual low buy, but maybe also, who knows where those sisters have been? Ooh, I'm gonna leave that alone. That's your sisters. I'm not going to touch that one. I'm wondering if I want to, but that's still my perpetual low buy. Like if I say I'm only going to purchase it like on sale, because now the perpetual low buy is either on sale, discount code, or coupons, or a point multiplier. Because at Ulta, them point multipliers, they add up your points quick. And y'all know for Ulta, the points add up to cash. And so I'm trying to figure out like how to change this for next year. And I don't want to say don't spend more than a certain amount, because if I do, then I'm going to feel like crap. And I don't want to feel like crap. So it needs to be realistic for me. Even though it seems like what I'm doing is working, looking at that $1,985.93, I'm just like, that's a lot. And so October was $157 and change, and the highest amount was June, which was $410. I have a couple 300s and two 200 somethings. So maybe if I say like $250 a month, but then whatever money is in there is in there. You know what I'm saying? And I can't go over what's in there because it's my bank account. So what do y'all think I could do different? Like for next year, not to have spent $2,000 in 7 months. Because I'm struggling trying to think of something. Because I think I am doing okay though, but that adding all of that up is a lot. And I really only buy from, as far as eyeshadows, is Lethal, Notoriously Morbid. Even when I get PR, they do credit. And so then I've been buying older palettes that I don't have. I wonder if they're sending me the new thing they're coming out from Spellcast Beauty. I'm really hoping they are, but I haven't heard anything from my PR rep. So I buy from Lethal, Notoriously Morbid. But I think I have every shadow from Lethal I could want. Lethal, Notoriously Morbid, Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, which is iffy because it's not really my color story. What other brand? I have some cosmetics that I got on sale. So I don't even buy from a lot of brands. And because my lids don't tolerate pressed pigments, that takes out a whole lot of brands. I am getting the new Nomad palette. It is, I'm Mrs. Felicia. It's all eyeshadows. So I am getting that, and I do have a discount code for that. No, this was my personal stuff. My professional kit, I'm not even going to tell y'all what I spent for that. I spent a lot. And I remember in one video, I'm like, this has got to fucking work. Like, people need to keep coming because this has got to work to at least pay for itself. Oh my gosh, Sandy. Unfortunately, she knew exactly where her sister. I'm gonna still leave that alone, Sandy. I cannot with you right now, my 32nd day one. Because all sorts of stuff is going through my mind. Like, ugh. I'm like, did you at least wash your hands? Like, no, all of this, Nina, was my stuff, my personal use. And so I don't know what I could do different. Because I'm not using credit cards, so I'm not paying interest. It's coming straight out of a bank account as a debit card purchase. I do only shop sales except for rocks. So once in a blue moon, I'll break the perpetual low buy, but it's very seldom. So it's like I don't know. Or maybe if I say something like bubblegum, Sandy, you Sandy, you are cracking me up over here. Oh my gosh. And so I'm thinking, like, what if I do it has to be at least 30% off? Because we can easily get 20% with the coupons at Ulta. You know what I mean? So I really, and I'm thinking of what I have. Like, I have like everything I think I want, and I do use everything I have. Yes, I don't know. So, do y'all have any ideas? Because I'm thinking I could do it has to be at least 30% off, but then it depends. You said I just need new trolls. I'm down to 10 members. It was 12 for a while, not counting the gifted memberships, but then they fell off and then somebody left. And because I have so few, I can look at the list and see who's not there. So it was 12 consistently for a long time. And then one person left and then somebody else left. So I'm down to 10. Yeah, that would be nice, but I don't know. And I don't know. And I think the perks are good. But some people, they're just content with whatever. Thank you, Sandy. She gifted a membership. And it went to Gwendolyn Campbell. I don't know if I'm familiar with her. Hopefully she watches videos on a consistent basis, because otherwise she won't even know that I'm here. There's been a lot of releases and sales. I'm with you, 30% off and free shipping. That would cancel out Sigma, because Sigma, you gotta pay shipping. I hate paying shipping. And for my Sigma purchase, shipping was $7.50. And so I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to think on that some more. Maybe not buy a lot of backups of products. The only backups I have, Tanya, are Fenty brow pencils, Fenty eye primer. What I meant to do was get another fashion fair. I opened this 4 months ago, and this is all that's left. And I have one backup, which means when this runs out by January, I'll be done the other one. And so I thank you for saying that, because it was on my mind to order another one of these while they're 20% off at Sephora. So I keep brow pencils, Fenty eye shadow primer. I have enough Fenty foundations and Fenty primers. And for the soft lit Fenty foundation, I'm using this milk primer. And I go through the Fenty foundation and primer in about, I think, 7 or 8 months. And that's only because I was only rotating through 3 foundations. You broke up with Ulta, so that helped you tremendously. Yeah, and they do quite often have the 20% off. Does some drugstore low budget content? Do some drugstore makeup usually doesn't work for my skin. And so yeah, I could buy it and use it, and then it would go to trash, or I would have to send it to somebody, because I can't return drugstore stuff. So that's the thing with that. Oh, Sandy says her husband loves me. Tell him I love him too. Oh, just kidding. I'm getting all warm and fuzzy over here, and you like just kidding. He has limited dollars. Record me once, but not if you wouldn't use them. So you're saying just buy them and do content, and then don't open it and take it back? That don't feel right to me. To get it, just knowing I'm gonna take it back. And like, what would the content be? Oh, hey, I bought this powder from CVS, and then like, what? I can't say how it works, or if it broke me out or not, or like, how would I even do that? Because even if I open it, that's considered used. So I don't know. Because even if it's open, it's considered used in my mind, because it's not brand new, because you open it, so air already got in there, and that's what starts the breakdown process of products, is after you open it. Yeah, yeah, that's not sitting well with me. Because like, what would my content be? Just showing it? Because there was a couple years ago, I was doing full face drugstore makeup, and half of that shit irritated my skin. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm done. with drugstore stuff. And what else do I keep? The Sephora lippies. I don't buy backups to those because I get different colors. Yeah, I don't really yeah, it's just the brow pencils, the eyeshadow primer, the Fenty foundation, the Fenty face primer. Those are the only things I get backups on. I could stop buying brushes because I ordered some brushes from Sigma and from Esom because they gave me that $60 credit. Yeah, so even when I think of backups, like the backups are stuff I go through in like 4 to 7, 8 months. So I thought that might be a reason like that. Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago, and it's in my 2023 collabs playlist because we were doing a series. We were doing like a full face. We had said we were going to do a full face of just drugstore, and I wanted to be fancy, so I got all CoverGirl for full face, and then I did whatever else for full face, and some L'Oreal, and then something else, and most of that stuff. And when I added everything up, because we did 3 collab videos, I spent over $300 on drugstore stuff that I either threw in the trash or mailed to somebody. So I'm like, that was a waste of money. And so yeah, after that, I'm like, I'm done. And even a lot of e.l.f. stuff my skin don't like. Like people swore the Power Grip was a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip. Nah, that e.l.f. Power Grip dried my face out. I was like that. And people say, oh, this is a dupe. No. When people say stuff for dupes, it's not a dupe for my skin. Yeah, my skin is kind of expensive. Kat, you're right. My skin is finicky. A drugstore collaboration with Erica is how I found you. Yeah, when I added up them numbers, I'm like, I'm done. I spent over $300 for them 3 videos, and I'm like, nah. I'm doing a video like, oh, my skin is burning. I'm still finishing the face, and somebody's like, girl, you should have washed that off as soon as it tingled. I'm still finishing the video. My eyes burning, skin burning. I was just like, I'm done. After that 3rd one, I'm like, I am done. I'm like, because somebody has suggested we do a full face of dollar store makeup. And after the drugstore shit, I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. If I get dollar store makeup with the drugstore stuff, irritated my skin. I was like, oh, hell no. Yeah, so since that time, I don't get nothing from drugstore. And back in the day, I did used to like the Milani lip glosses and the Milani. No, it was the Jordana. Their lip liners. And so the lip liners but that was probably like 20 years ago. But after them collabs, I was like, fuck that. I'm like, nah. Brushes are addictive. They are. Yeah, so y'all will see that tomorrow. My Sigma brushes. I have 2 Sephora boxes, but then I got a notification. Another Sephora was coming. I'm like, what else did I buy? I have a little Ulta bag over here. So I'm excited because honestly, I don't even know what else is coming from Sephora. And the thing with brushes though, Kat, even though I have a lot of brushes, like I use them. I wash a brush after every use. And so that one day I remember saying I have 3 full face looks worth of brushes to wash. The only time I'll reuse a brush, zombie purchase and then your sleeves, Tanya. So like this brush I might use for finishing powder, and then I might use it for bronzer, and then I might use it for blush, and then do the highlighter, and then do a finishing powder. And so I might use this one brush if I'm being lazy for like all the powder face stuff. But if I use a bronzer brush, a blush brush, a highlighter brush, a finishing powder brush, a setting powder brush, that's 5 brushes right there. And then if I do first quarter lid, second, third, fourth, and then first half transition, second half transition, that's 6 eyeshadow brushes. And then if I do 1 shade here and 1 shade here, that's 8 eyeshadow brushes for one look. So I might have anywhere from like 8 to 15 brushes to wash. And because I wash them after every use, if I don't wash them that night, I use fresh brushes the next day. So that one time when I'm like, I have 3 looks worth of makeup brushes to wash, I think I posted on my community tab, like a picture of all the brushes clean, like want to try that. And so I don't mind having extra brushes. And that's why I got an extra one of that big fluffy $50 Scott Barnes brush on sale, because that takes a long time to dry because it is so big and fluffy. And so I don't feel bad about buying extra because I do use my brushes. And if I realize I'm not using a certain brush, I'll make it a point to use that brush. This brush is so soft. I'm just sitting here in my face. I wipe on makeup remover cloth and occasionally wash. Yeah, I use doing dish detergent. My roommate, she said, I have to ask you, why is there a small bottle of Dawn dish detergent in the bathroom? I said, I use it to wash my makeup brushes. She was like, oh, she said, I was hoping there was a good reason for it because I was wondering. And I told her, I said, let me tell you something. The last academy, my roommate, she asked me what I use that Dawn dish detergent for. And I said, my makeup brushes. She said, oh, because my beautician told me to use Dawn dish detergent for my hair. And I was like, is that a thing? And she said, because she was trying to strip the color, because she gets different colors put in her hair. And it was to strip certain colors. She said, but I think she said it was the green that wouldn't come out. And she used it like 4 times, the Dawn dish detergent like 4 times. And I'm like, that's a thing? And we do know that Dawn dish detergent strips, but it is gentle. If they can use it to get oil off of duck's feathers, that's why I use it for makeup brushes. And it does work really well. But I Googled it. I looked on YouTube, Dawn dish detergent for shampoo. And it is a thing. And so I told my roommate this time about it. I said, yeah, so-and-so, her beautician said use it for her hair because it would strip out the color. And she was like, yeah, that would work. But it was just like, at first it's like, huh? Then it's like, oh, okay. But, and me not having really no hair, she was like, why she got this in the bathroom? Jordana, it was a nice drugstore brand lock. I was all about their lip liners, their lip glosses. But again, this was a long time ago. Yeah, Nina, right? That's an old brand. They had a really small display at my local Rite Aid, but we no longer have Rite Aid. Yeah, it would be a little tiny display about this big, maybe like 2 shelves. And I was like, all the stuff. If you blinked, you would have missed seeing it. Even though you spend a lot, you use your makeup daily so you get your return on investment. I surely do. And that's one thing that prompts me to do. Yeah, I noticed it was going on because then like the display got smaller and smaller. And then it's like, okay, this must be going away. I haven't done a look since before Academy. I am going to do a look tomorrow because last night, Locke, one of the channel members, she requested a certain thing. And so I'm telling myself I'm going to do that certain thing tomorrow. So many ShopRites closed. We still have ShopRite. We have Walgreens. We have CVS. We do not have Happy Harry's here in Delaware. Yeah, I used to love them Jordana pencils. Sandy said, I just wish Dawn dish detergent didn't break out my hands. Not sure if it has gluten ingredients or if it's something else. Have you used it with gloves? I hate washing dishes with gloves on. Like, I just don't know what it is. I hate that. But some people do always use like them gloves, excuse me, kitchen gloves when they wash hands. You think Milani owns, excuse me, Jordana says Nina, don't quote me on it. I don't know, they might. But I remember I used to try and go get some more lip liners and they would be out or it would only be like 2 colors. And then after that, I stopped checking because I'm like, it's getting too hard to be going through all of this stuff trying to find it. Yeah. So I don't mind having a lot of brushes. And thankfully, my face doesn't like natural hair brushes because them shits are expensive. And they tell you only wash them like once every 2 weeks. Oh, hell no. I'm washing my brushes. We don't wash my brushes. Because even like this that I used for primer foundation today, excuse me, poking your eye. I can't imagine using this for like 3 days in a row dirty with foundation and primer stuck in here. Like that makes me want to throw up in my mouth right now. But but then you spot clean them, but then it's still not to me clean. That's like you have a spot on your shirt and you use a little Tide stick and get the stain out, but then is the shirt clean? No, you just did the one spot. That's how it seems to me when people just spot clean brushes. But that's just me. That's just me. Yes, I'll wash my brushes after every use. The only time I won't is if I use this today for this powder. And for whatever reason, I don't wash it. I'll say, okay, like when I was at Academy before, I used the same brush for the finishing powder every day. And that was like 3 days. But it's only just this powder. And it's not a liquid, it's a powder. The same brush for the same powder. That's the only time I'll reuse a brush. But if I'm home, I'll do one brush for each thing. Sandy said, I like it when chicks hatch sticky. Use a coconut-based dish soap now. Gloves always seem not tall enough for water to get through. Yeah. I'm like, how do people do that? Tanya says she loves the spot clean. Water bills ain't no joke. Do you use natural hair brushes, Dawn, or you just use synthetic? And I don't care what people say. Oh, you need to have a natural hair brush for this. I said, no, I don't. My brushes are soft. Like, I don't know, but maybe it's relative because that's all I know. But I did try natural hair brushes before, and that's how I found out my skin didn't like it. My face was irritated, breaking out, rashes and stuff. Like, wait a minute, what? Them freaking brushes. Use the natural eyeshadow brushes. My eyelids was sensitive and they were burning. I'm like, you know what? No. I think I missed something. Oh no, I didn't. Doing stuff to ruin your hand washing dishes. Yeah, I didn't like using gloves either because they just, number one, I don't like how it felt because there's powder inside the gloves or something, and so it would just feel like icky to me. And then water would always get in from the, where am I going? From the top side. Well, my hand would be like this in the sink, but water would always get in, like Sandy was just saying. Yeah. Right. And also, Tanya, you're right. It doesn't feel secure holding the dishes. And now they got some that has like grips on them or something on the finger parts. I'm like, that's just too much. That's too much. So, oh my God, y'all. Sandy loves natural hair brushes, but have synthetic too. And what we've been on here over 2 hours, y'all. And this is what I'm like. See, when they were like, "Oh, you got to have natural hair brushes for this, and that," but then they use a cream product. What they do? Pick up a synthetic brush. Oh, but I need to have such and such, and you using this. All right. So where's all the hype? Where's all the hype? But then whatever. And I'm glad I can't use natural hair brushes because watching Alicia Archer, I would be having all the hocka hoodos, whatever. Refer brushes, which is like the low end of the natural hair brushes, but I would be, let me just no. And so I am glad that my skin is the way it is, because yeah, but it was just weird to me. It was funny to me. It was ironic to me. Oh, you need a natural hair brush for this, natural hair brush for that, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, for this we're going to use this a synthetic brush. So what was all that you were saying 10 minutes ago? Because y'all know I'll be listening and I'll be looking. And I'll be like, I don't know. But we're going to go, y'all, because we've been on here over 2 hours and we'll be back here tomorrow night. So I do hope that other Sephora box come in. And that'll be everything except I'm going to still keep thinking on if I'm going to order the lethal mystery bags. I'm going to keep thinking on that. I know already I'm going to get the Nomad palette. I have a discount code for that. Excuse me. Other than that, I don't think there's anything like in my mind that I want to get. Natasha's stuff, depending on the sale, but that would be for my kit, so that wouldn't be out of my beauty budget. Nina says she got Refer for the first time, no regrets. And I do hear that some natural hair brushes are really good. I just can't use them, and I'm glad I can't. Just like I'm glad my lids don't tolerate pressed pigments, because I would be buying all these indie shadow palettes and all of that, and that's more money. And so we're going to go, y'all. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And this is what I have so far to show y'all. This box, I didn't even open these boxes. This bag, I didn't open the bag. And we got 2 Sephora boxes, and another one is on the way. So, and it's not a lot of stuff. I placed like small orders, and then I'm like, oh, just like I'm going to tell y'all right now, and I'm going to order another one of these, because this is all that's in here. That's all that's in there. And I only have one backup. So I'm going to get another one while those are 20% off at Sephora. And I probably I'll probably just mention in the video, like, oh yeah, I did get that powder. But I'm not going to like wait and show it, because y'all know I use this powder. Ooh, unboxings. Yeah, tomorrow is our unboxing. So yeah. What did I get so far this month? I can open my document. What did I get this month so far? Ooh. I don't want to lose y'all messing around on my laptop. I don't know. I'll whatever. I'm not going to deal with that because I don't want to mess up. I don't want to click y'all off by accident trying to open up other stuff. But yeah, I made 6 purchases already as of November 5th. And so we will do, and that's what this stuff is from November, from the Sephora sale. And Ulta had a sale. No, Sigma had a sale. So we're going to open that stuff tomorrow. See what that is. Yeah, so that'll just be that. You enjoy Refer, but jump to Sonia G's and really enjoy them aesthetically. I heard Sonia G's are like really, really nice. And sometimes Refer has sales too, because I be seeing them on community tabs. Make sure if y'all not following Sons of Ray and y'all like to shop, she be posting all the sales, y'all, with her links. She be posting all the sales. I post stuff. I try to post sales if it's something that I know I like and I use, or if it's something that's really popular. Like if I see a sale for the Nessa Myrix, I might post it even though my skin doesn't like her stuff. But I'm like, I know it's really popular. But yeah, but Sons of Ray posts all the sales. All the sales. Which is great. And so we're gonna go. Thank you y'all for being here. Oh, thank you, Sandy. She gifted another one. Oh, that went to Deidre. Yeah, I see her in the comments every now and then. Kitchi Chen Love. Yeah, her name is Deidre. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I hope she does come on board. Yeah, she's really cool. Yeah, she's been around a minute. Like, yeah, she pops up every now and then. So I'm glad it went to somebody I'm aware of and that do sometimes watch my videos. The other person, I don't know who that was. That name was not familiar to me at all. I love when you forget what you ordered and it's a wonderful surprise when you open it. This is something funny, y'all. When I lived in Texas, when I was in the military, it was like in the summertime, and I forget what city it is, but it was like a shopping outlet on this side of the street. On the other side, and it's like they here in Rehoboth, down in Sussex County in Delaware. And on the other side of the street, so both sides of the street had these huge outlet centers. And so one day I said, I'm gonna just go shopping. And when I say shop till you drop, we're finding out silent watchers. When I tell y'all I shopped till I dropped. No, that was here in Delaware after I left Texas and came here because I was in my apartment. Was I in the house or in the apartment? It was in the apartment because it was my first year. No, was it? Because I stayed in the apartment for a year and then bought a house. And so, yeah, so down in Rehoboth Beach, there's outlets on this side of the highway. And it's like 20 stores. Like, it is ridiculous. And then on the other side of the street, it's like 3 different outlet centers. So if you know what one outlet center looked like, it was 3 of them. And when I say shop till I drop, I got up in the morning and it was like a 2-hour drive. I drove down there. I went to all this in and out of whatever stores I thought I would like stuff on this side. Bought a bunch of stuff. And it was like one of those movies where somebody rich and they go shopping and they have like, 15 bags from all the stores. That was me, y'all. And so I would put them in the trunk of my car. And then, because 2 outlet centers were next to each other. So then I went to the next outlet center. I bought a bunch of stuff. I had all these bags. Put them in the trunk of my car. And then I ate lunch. Thank you, Sylvia. You're welcome. And so then I ate lunch because I'm like, okay, I've been out here walking around shopping for like 4 or 5 hours. Like, y'all, I was there all freaking day. So then I stopped and had lunch. And then I drove across the street to the 3rd outlet center. I didn't know QVC had an outlet store. I was like, I went in there, stuff looked like garbage. I was like, that's why it's here. Like, it ain't look like the stuff they had on TV. But I went in there, and that's why I'm like, this don't look good. And so I was over there shopping, had a bunch of bags, put them in my car, put them in the trunk. And then I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. I looked at the time. I'm like, shit, it's dinner time. So I went to a restaurant, ate dinner. Hey, Sons of Ray, I was just telling them to keep an eye on your community tab because you be posting all the sales. And so then I ate dinner, and then I went to the other half of that outlet center. Y'all, I told y'all I went to go down there in the morning. It was like 7 at night, 8 at night when I was done shopping. I was exhausted, and I had all these bags in the trunk of my car, and I'm just like, damn. So I got home. I was exhausted. So I just left everything in the trunk of the car, went inside, had a snack, took a shower, went to sleep. The next day, I had to take 2 trips, and I'm like, all these bags. And so what I did was I bought wrapping paper, I bought tape, because this was like my first year being single again after the divorce. And I said, I'm not going to wait for somebody to do something for me. I said, I'm going to treat myself, get myself stuff. Just like I take myself to dinner, I take myself to the movies, whatever. And so I brought everything in, I packaged everything up, put it under the Christmas tree. And this was like in August. And so I wrapped everything up. So when Christmas came, I didn't even remember what I had because everything was wrapped up. And it was so funny because I would open something and be like, oh, I like this color shirt. And I'm like, well, damn, I did buy it. It was the funniest thing. I opened something, oh, fluffy aloe socks. These are nice. And I'm like, wait, I did buy these for myself. It was I was really opening stuff like, oh, wow. Because it had been 3 months since I've seen it and wrapped it up. Yo, I was oh, I like this dress. Oh my gosh, look at this design. Oh yeah, I bought that. Yo, it was hysterical because I did not remember what I purchased. And it was I told you I had all these bags. Oh my God. I had so much stuff. And I'm like, oh wow, oh, and I'm like, and I bought it for me. So if you're ever in a situation, because that was my first divorce. And so when I moved to Delaware, I was like, you know what? I need to just do something for me. And after the second divorce is when I started buying myself these gold and diamond bracelets because I'm like, I need to love myself. And so if you ever have a moment where you're just like, do something for yourself, buy yourself something, wrap it up, leave it somewhere. And when you're having like a bad day, just open it. She'll be like, oh, wow, this is cute. And then it's like, damn, I did buy it for myself. It was hilarious. Like, I was just like, everything was like, ooh, ah, wow, ooh, It was funny. But I needed that because it's like, most of my family doesn't celebrate Christmas, and I don't even celebrate Christmas anymore. But like at that time, I was at a low point in my life. And so to open stuff and be like, ooh, it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. So yeah, if y'all need to do that, treat yourself. Try not to wait for somebody else to validate you or appreciate you. Appreciate and love yourself. My first year of my second divorce, because I left in June, my born month is in December. That's when I bought my first one. Gold and diamonds. My skin don't tolerate costume jewelry. And this is 1 carat. The next year I bought another one. So that's 2 carats. The next year I bought another one. And the next year I bought another one. And the lady would be like, how many of these are you going to get? I said, until it don't fit no more. And then they didn't have this one year. They had this one. This is 2 carats. So I'm like, well, I guess I get that one. And then the next year I bought another one. And it looked really nice. This on this side and one on this side. Even though these are longer, so it will like overlap. And so sometimes I have to fix it. But to see them together, this one and the same as this one on the other side, it was really pretty. But it kept breaking, it kept popping. So finally I'm like, just return it, stop sending it to be fixed, and just give me my money back. But that's why I got these. Because I'm like, I need to do something for me and not wait for somebody else to do something for me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what these are about. And this is my master's class ring, and this is my doctorate class ring. So this is all the jewelry I wear. That's it. So I got 8 carats on my wrist. 2, 3, 4, 6. What? Yeah, 6 carats on my wrist. And these have little tiny diamonds in them. I doubt that they're really worth anything. But yeah, don't wait for people to do stuff for you. Like, love yourself, treat yourself. And I know these are going to last. And the first one I bought was in 2012. This is 2024. And so, love yourself first, y'all. And that's what I had to learn. And I'm like, I'm going to just get this. And they were having like 50% off sale. And I was earning points. These are from JCPenney's. So the prices were really reasonable. And I did get the lifetime protection plan. So anytime any one of them break or snap or something, I take it to them, they send it out, fix it, and it's free. And the plan, I think, was only $99. And because they all look the same, they don't know, like, well, is this for this bracelet? Because all four of these are exactly the same. So one pop, take it in, use that same protection plan. I love to see in some hoops, not big, but sparkly. You wear hoop earrings, Tanya? Yeah, you are from Detroit. Kat says, my family always gave me lousy gifts, so anything I bought near Christmas became my Christmas presents. So I was always happy on Christmas after I did that. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. My family always gave me lousy gifts, so anything I bought near Christmas became your Christmas. Okay, so you started buying your own Christmas gifts. Okay, and that's what y'all do. Like, and you're going to like it because you bought it. People be giving me stuff, and I'll be like, one of my dad's brothers, his wife bought me a shirt for Christmas, and she shops at places like Lord and Taylor. I'm jeans and sneakers and Skechers, and so I'm already like, this ain't even my style. But the shirt was a petite long. Y'all, I'm over 200 pounds. It ain't nothing petite about me. And I'm looking at this shirt like, did she see me or did she not look at the tag? And so I told her, and I did try it on and I showed her, and it was just, so I returned it and I bought not a jacket, but it's like one of those zip up sweaters, whatever thing, and it's really cute. And I showed it to her. She's like, "Oh, that's really nice. I'm sad you didn't like the shirt." I said, "It's not that I didn't like it. It was a petite, and I'm not petite." And she was like, "Oh." So I'm just, I'm not petite, girl. She's petite. I'm like, I ain't not petite about me. Kat says, "What time?" Well, let's make back up. I really love this. Oh, do I wear hoops? No. I got my ears pierced when I was 17, and one of them kept getting infected. So I just took them out and let them close up. So I don't know. I don't know what material was. So I just never. Yeah, after that I said no, and I don't wear clip-ons because it's too much pressure for my ear. And so you just this one time somebody gave me a pair of earrings as a gift, and I went like this. I said, "Did you ever notice?" And I'm doing like this, and they're like, "What?" I said, "Do you see holes in my ears?" And they were like, "Oh no, I never noticed." So I gave the gift back because I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? Some people just don't pay attention, or they get you stuff that they like and they hope you like it, versus them taking time to learn your style. Like that liquid eyeliner and the knife thing, y'all know that's my style. But people don't be paying attention to what your style is. And I'm just like, my mother and grandmother used to just grab things around the house for gifts. Says Kat, oh my gosh. Just go around the house and find something to wrap it up. Sandy says, loving myself, put 24 chickens hatching eggs on my credit card. So my husband bought them for me and never even realized. My friend that gave me that nice liquid eyeshadow, like when we would go out to dinner, she'd be like, oh, the man will pay for it. And then so she'll pay for it with a card and be like, oh, it went through. And I'm like, what? And it cracks me up because she calls him the man. Like how Grace will sometimes say the boy instead of Adrian came over. And it always makes me laugh. She'd be like, oh, it went through. The man paid for it. I'm like, and then I'll try and give her money. She's like, no, the man paid for it. I'm just like, okay. And Dawn says, or buy you a $99 makeup kit from Walmart because you love it. They better put a gift receipt in there. She'd be like, the man. Oh, hey, Grace. I know you just heard me talking about you when you calling Adrian game over the boy. That always makes me laugh. And my friend, she always calls her husband the man. Just like, and this one lady I knew years ago, she would call her dude Mr. And I told her, I said, that reminds me of Color Purple. She said, yeah, that's why I call him that. I was like, girl. I'm like, I could not with you. Because that was not a good thing, the way that the man in the movie treated the girl. And she calls her man Mr. like that. Good night, Grace. We'll be chatting. Sometimes very rare, says Tanya. Those kids can be nice. For little kids. The one says, I call guys like, I like Mr. I never knew. It's not bad. But in the movie, he treated her like trash. And so she was raised calling him Mr. And so that was the connotation in my mind, is like, this dude is garbage and he treats you like shit. So it's not bad. For me, it just makes me think of that movie. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, Mr. said, yeah, Tanya, right? So when she would be like, oh, Mr. this, Mr. that, and I was like, I said, every time you say that, I think of The Color Purple. She said, yeah, that's why I call him that. So if you're calling him that because of how he treated the chick in the movie, so you're telling me he treats you like shit too? Like, I don't know, y'all. Yeah, silly. Whatever the little song. Yeah, so we're going to go, y'all, for real. Like, we've been on here an ungodly amount of time. I remember I first started doing lives. I was trying to keep them under an hour, and I realized quickly, okay, it's going to be at least an hour and 15. And now we're like up to 2 hours. I told my kids they may get Christmas, but I get January through March. Oh, wait, the scroll went up. Oh, let me find it. I told my kids, says Tanya, that they may get Christmas, but I get January through March, not buying them a thing. Sometimes Januaries have good sales, especially at department stores, because they're trying to get rid of all the Christmas stuff. Yeah. Okay, let me scroll back down. Yeah, he did treat her bad. Yeah, Dawn, for real. Mm-hmm. But because y'all don't, I mean, and it's not bad. It just makes me think of the movie. And in the movie, but yeah, we talking about real life though. So Dre's like, girl. These are our opportunities to chat among ourselves also, and I enjoy that. And I do too. For me, that's the best part is chatting with y'all. The second best part is not editing. And since I do lives now on my laptop, I can fill out the description box and do all the other stuff, where before when I was doing lives on my phone over there, after the live, I would have to remember to come to my computer and do all the stuffs. And so Dawn says, no, you said we were ending for real. Dawn done came alive, and now she's live, all right. And then I say good night for real, for real. Y'all are so right. You are so right. What I do is a half-hour long goodbye. It's like when somebody leave your house and then you follow them to their car. And you still be talking. And then they get in the car, roll the window down, and y'all still be talking. That's what this is like. Yo, because I just really enjoy this. And this has helped me a lot. Yesterday, too, because yesterday y'all saw me yesterday. And then when people drive off, lot, they be walking behind the car. And I'm like, why are you walking behind the car? Like, how far are you going to walk? And I see people do that in real life. The car pull off and they just be walking. I be like, where are they going? Oh my gosh. I'm like, how long do you want to walk behind the car? I'm like, they're driving off. Usually they walk to the end of the driveway and that'll be it. But I'll be like, where are you going? My ex-husband used to do that. I'm like, where are you going? Because I'm in the house waving, and he would go outside and he's waving, and he's walking down the driveway waving, and then he gets to the sidewalk, he waving. And I could see them turn the corner, and then he'd be waving. I'm like, they can't see you. They can't see you no more. Like, what are you doing? I would be looking at him like, what? And sometimes I would just close the door, but like, he'll come in whenever. Oh my gosh. Kat says her mom and sisters were like that. Dawn says, yup, her and her friend. We do have fun time, yeah. Yeah, and at that point, Sandy, it's not good night. It's good morning. Well, do you want to come back in for breakfast? Like, I'll pick it off of here, y'all, and order this before I forget. Actually, I'm going to just leave it right here on my desk. I won't forget. But that, yeah, so. But for real, we're going to go because we'll be back here tomorrow night. And I appreciate all of y'all being. Y'all, my head hurt from laughing so much. Watching him walking down the driveway behind the car. I forgot all about that, like for real. All right, I said for real twice. That's the third time. Oh, one of my aunts is calling me. One of my dad's sisters. I'll call her back. So yeah. For real, we're going to go. I know, Squirrel, yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, and I haven't talked to her in a while either, so I definitely will call her back. And her husband was a veteran. He passed away years and years ago. Yeah. So we'll be back here tomorrow night. Y'all saw the 3 boxes in the bag. Hopefully the other Sephora box will be here. And we'll just open those and like for reals. Y'all gotta put the S on it for reals, y'all. For reals. Mm-hmm. So I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you, my 32nd day one, for the gifted memberships. And thank you to the members who are here. And I'm excited. I wrote out the Shop My Stash stuff. So I'm excited to do that for December. And if y'all think of anything else for the Shop My Stash, just let me know under that post on the community tab. And Dawn says good night, everybody, for real. I have one more Sephora cart tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna order this tonight so I can be done with it, and just whenever it gets here. So you'll see me tomorrow night, y'all. And As always, that's when y'all know we really going. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you. You'll see me tomorrow night. Bye.